Hello everyone, Karnasa here, and welcome back to another Saturday evening, morning, day, night, afternoon, wherever you are in the world live stream. Today we're going to be back in Coming Home because I want to carry on working with the interplanetary vessel that I developed in the last live stream that I did, except this time we're not actually going to be focusing on the vessel itself. We're going to be working on the infrastructure behind it, and you may be able to see on the screen behind me, up, that way. Yeah, that's that's going to be part of a space station that I'm going to construct around Armstrong. Basically, what this is going to do is going to take enriched uranium, turn it into fission pellets, and it's going to be glorious. We're going to be able to use that for our new interplanetary vessels, which is going to be absolutely great. Anyway, I'm going to put my guitar away because for some reason that was on me. And we're going to get into the game. If I can put this up without making it fall on the floor, that would be absolutely wonderful. And we're going to get in. We're going to see who is in the chat. Hello, everyone. Who is this? Kanasa, I'm pushing. What am I pushing? Pushing my agenda? Maybe. I'm not sure. Exploit other worlds like the Englishman you are. Exactly. That is the intent. Obviously, I am British. I am from England, so colonialism is in my nature. Anyway, we are... Hello, everyone. Hello, Fetatide, if I said that correctly. The Unknown Kerbal. Sam Magic, you getting bufferings? JM Studios. Hello, yes. I hope everyone did enjoy the video that I did yesterday, because it took quite a long time to put that together, despite only being 4 minutes long. But yeah, the editing style on that did take a long time, but it was quite funny. I'm quite pleased with how it turned out, and I'm definitely going to be doing more videos like that. Anyway, let's get some banging tunes on. So let's get over to Spotify and play some music. So it's not just me nattering on, there's something in the background. And let's actually open up KSP. So yes, the fission pellets production facility. And you can see it's bloody expensive, 1.4 million, and we've not even got any fuel in it. This entire thing is empty. I just realised that my left ear was off. Hello, Brandon Land Space Stuff. Thank you for the $1 donation. Subpar mods, grrr. Yes, I'm sorry, Katniss, that joke was at your expense. But it had to be done. It had to be done. Anyway, yes, this entire thing is empty at the moment. But what we've got on here is this Vulcan nuclear smelter. And what this can do is it can start making fission pellets. So that takes enriched uranium and it turns it into fission pellets. So what we're going to do is we're going to store those in these. We're going to have a big supply of enriched uranium over here. And we've also got a nuclear power plant section that is going to provide all the power for this. And what we will eventually do is we will expand this space station out in this direction. And what I want to have here is another place to construct spacecraft in space. It's going to be amazing, so we can start building spacecraft around Armstrong as well. We're going to expand production and take over the entire road system. It's going to be great, but Armstrong is a good contender because I've checked my ScanSat maps, and what it does say is that there is a lot of uraninite, which is what we need for enriched uranium, and there's a lot of ore, so we can also make fuel. Thank you, Brandon Land Space Star. Thank you for the other $1 donation. Thank you very much. All donations are greatly appreciated. And I did spam my Patreon in the last video because, yes, I'm a poor uni student and I need to get some sort of income, and YouTube is pretty rubbish for that. Kanasa, dance party. I can't dance. Honestly, I can't dance. I can play guitar and sing, but I can't dance. It's midnight right here, right now. Yes, I know, time zones and all of that. This is 4 p.m. for me currently, and I thought that'd be a good time to start. Anyway, this isn't completely done. There are a couple of other things that I quickly want to do to this before I send it over to Armstrong and just make sure that everything's okay. And I can send this over to Armstrong in this stream if we want to. Because I know in the last stream that I didn't actually do any spacey stuff. It was all designed, so we could potentially build this on stream today and send it over to Armstrong, which might be a little bit better. At least we get a little bit of space time in this stream, which would be nice. Anyway, what I want to do is I want to have a way of actually getting enriched uranium and fission pellets in and out of this. So what I'm going to do is we are going to create a structural component like this, and we will put that maybe there. We'll make it 1.25 in diameter because that is the size of a docking port. If we come to the docking port, we will go here and we will whack that on. Come on, work. There we go. Whack that on like so. I'm going to make that fully metal. I'm going to turn the music down because I can't hear myself think at the moment. There we go. Ayo, the torch drive here. The torch drive? Is there a torch drive? We are going to be making torch drives in this eventually at some point in this series, because that's something that I do really want to do. We will be using nuclear saltwater, we'll be using antimatter and fusion drives. It's all very futuristic and all very exciting. I'm looking forward to it. Call the space station, accident waiting to happen. I mean, we've got a lot of different nuclear components on this. So it more than likely will be an accident waiting to happen, if I'm going to be honest. Anyway, yeah, we're going to grab that on there like that. I think I will extend this ever so slightly. So we've got a little bit of clearance, like so. And then we want to make sure that this is roughly in the middle, like so. I'm going to open up the recoloring GUI and maybe change it to just a matte grey colour. And then that way it kind of better fits in with the parts that we've already got going on here. Though I do maybe want to make this a little bit darker, so I think if we bring this down this way to maybe about 81 each, that might look a little... Yeah, that looks like it fits a little bit more. Let's actually just type in 81 on all of them, and then they will be all equal, and hopefully everything should be good. Yeah, that looks a little bit better in my eyes anyway. Space Chernobyl! Well, hopefully we won't go into, like, meltdown and just explode. That's why we've got this on the end. It's like it's supposed to be away from the rest of the stuff, and all of the heat will be radiating out into space from there and from these rather chunky radiators that we do have on the side of our fission pellets storage. Right, anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to auto-strut this, and actually, no, I still want to create one more little section because I want to be able to remove fission pellets from this as well. So we're going to auto-strut it. Like so it doesn't go all floppy on us, because floppy rocket syndrome is a real thing, ladies and gentlemen, and you must do all you can in order to prevent it. It ruins many, many, many lives, many a marriage, and is just nothing but bad news for all involved. Right, so we're going to get these coming into the fission pellets, like so. I think I might do this on the other side, because then that way if we have two craft docked to it, well, they won't get in each other's way, essentially, which would be kind of nice. And what I think I might do is I might actually make this larger, and we'll use a larger docking port for taking this stuff off. And I think, if I am correct, well, we have the Grande, which is very big. Ganassa, you know a lot about the floppy rocket syndrome, don't you? I do, of course I do. I suffer from it severely. If you've ever seen a Next Millennia video or just a coming home video, my rockets bend and flop and wibble all over the place, and it's really rather unfortunate. I have seen my doctor many a time about it, and they have given me some I'm not going to go down that route anymore, because that's going to start getting a bit weird. Right, anyway, we could do a senior docking port on this, which would be a little bit more chunky, but unfortunately I have this rather weird graphical issue where it just kind of like goes a little bit janky like that, so I'm not sure if we do want to do that. I would like to use the Grande, but that is massive. That is absolutely friggin' ginormous, and like if we make that to be the same size, I mean, it might look alright. Let's get this so it is actually equal to it. Bring this like so, and that there like that, and then we've got a nice little way of getting our fission pellets out of here. Maybe we could do something like this. We just get a ginormous docking port on the side like that. Is that equal? No, I think that could still come up a little bit, like that. And that's added not that much mass to this as well, which is kind of nice. We'll make the length a little bit longer so it actually does fit into those fission tanks. And we'll place that like that, and hopefully it doesn't look too bad on the other side, like so. There we go. Now we've got a ginormous section that we can dock basically some of these fission pellet things to, and we've also got a way of expanding the space station at a later date. And I think, for now, that's all we really need to do. This will be our nuclear production facility in orbit of Armstrong. Well, it will take enriched uranium and turn it into fission pellets, which is going to be great. Accident waiting to happen? Yes, of course it's going to be an accident waiting to happen. That is what happens. Scaffolding truss thing with the port on. So I've had a look at all of the different kind of scaffolds and all of this, and I've only got these square ones at the moment, really, that are going to be large enough. I do have octagonal ones. I don't have any circular ones, which would fit really nicely for a docking port. They, unfortunately, are unlocked behind the next materials node, so it's going to be a while before I get those. And to be honest, this doesn't look the worst. It looks quite solid. I guess maybe having some sort of scaffolding truss would look a little bit better, but to be honest, for now, I think I'm going to be happy with this. But what I think with that all being done, that is basically all I'm going to need for this section of that space station. So we're going to save this. I am going to launch this. What we're going to do is we're going to hyper-edit into Armstrong orbit. Just check that everything works. Make sure that the fission production, everything is as it should be. I haven't forgotten something critical like a probe core or anything like that. There is one tucked away inside. And that we can communicate back to Rode. All of the processes work just fine, and we can create fission pellets before I launch this mission for real. Kanasa, what do you think about the RS-25s for vertical takeoff SSTOs? It's probably the most viable option, excluding altitude compensating stuff. RS-25s for vertical takeoff SSTOs, so the space shuttle main engine. I don't know. I suppose with a low enough payload, you could probably push the RS-25s to make a single stage to orbit, couldn't you? I've tried making single stage to orbits, vertical takeoff ones in Realism Overhaul before, and I've never really gotten anywhere with them. Not ones that we can recover safely anyway. I've made a single stage to orbit in RSSRO. Oh, there we go. Oh, don't break, don't break. No! Oh dear, what broke apart? Oh, das ist nicht gut. That is very bad. What broke? Oh, screw it. I'm gonna revert the flight to the space plane. Hang on. What we'll do is I'll shut those radiators away, and then hopefully it won't like flip and roll around all crazy like. The Olympus first stage is theoretically a single stage to orbit, but it's just an unrecoverable one because it's got 9,000. It's got over 9,000 meters per second of delta V in its stage. So I could send that to orbit if I wanted, but it would have no real viable payload. Although in one of the Next Millennium episodes, I did send something up on a first stage of that in just one go, which was pretty cool. Right, so we're gonna. Oh, that's why. Maybe what we could do is flippity flip this entire thing around like that, and then that would be a little bit better. And everything is auto-strutted, right? Auto-strut disabled! Absolutely not. We will not have any of that. Right, and I want that to be heaviest part. There we go. Let's save this and try again. Let's launch it. Over 9,000! Exactly. I'm almost over 9,000 subscribers as well, which is going to be awesome. Hopefully I hit that at some point in February. Thank you for subscribing to this channel. If you're not subscribed, what are you doing here? No, it's fine. But yeah, no, thank you for everyone for subbing and liking and watching the videos and all of that. It does mean a lot. The video yesterday was my most viewed video in the time period by far, so that's kind of nice, I guess. Funny videos are the way forward. Who would have thought? Funny tutorials. That's exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to make a tutorial, but I also wanted to make it, like, inject some comedy into it, because tutorials on YouTube are good. Comedy on YouTube is good. What happens if I mash the two together? What happens? Well, you get my most viewed video in the time space that has been out, so I suppose I did something right. Lemeo Canasa Death Stare. What are you talking about, Wiss? Anyway, we're going to try and get this up over to Armstrong again, and hopefully this time it does work. Yes, we didn't have any breakages this time because I was a big brain and I decided to put it this way round instead of resting on the radiators. Right, anyway, we are going to use a little bit of hyper-edit magic, and we're going to active vessel. What we'll do is we'll just set that to 200,000. We'll hit apply. Now we're at Rode, but we want to not be at Rode. We want to be at Armstrong. So we're going to do the exact same, except I'm going to put it to 30,000 because Armstrong is quite small. It's very small. Laugh at this small size. Look at it. It's tiny body. Anyway, we're in Armstrong. We don't get any communication at the moment, but I'm assuming that is because Rode is on the other side of the planet. But what I want to do is I want to make sure that these are activated, and before I activate them, I probably also want to turn on my nuclear power plant, because otherwise we're going to run out of energy very, very quickly. So if we come to this Prometheus fission reactor, very nice, what we can do is we probably don't want the power setting to be full at the moment, but we can start the reactor, and there we go. We can see that the reactor is turning on, the core temperature is going up, and it stops at 850. Can we push this? We can! So we can run this reactor at full power. The two radiators that we have on here are going to be sufficient to stop it from overheating and blowing up, which is great. Kanasa is hacking. I am! Hyper-edit cheat! This guy cheats! Look! Oh my god! No, this is how I do all my testing. Like, obviously, I'm going to revert this to the Space Center once I'm done. Oh, look at that. We get a nice eclipse of Rode from Fate. But we do get connection, which is lovely. 100% connection to the Space Center. So these tiny, tiny, tiny little antennas that I've got on here, these OPT ones, they are more than sufficient of getting us a connection with the Space Center, which is lovely. Right, okay, but now what we want to do is we want to have a look at this. Do we have any enriched uranium? Well, I mean, we've got the stuff that's being used in there. So in order to test this out, what we could do is say, well, yeah, we've got enriched uranium. There we go. Look at that. We've got loads. What was I worrying about? There's loads of stuff in there. Then what we can do is we can start the smelter for fission pellets. And we are getting very poor efficiency at the moment. It's going up. Hopefully that goes up quite dramatically. I would like to get 100% efficiency for this, but we'll have to see. So obviously it is working. You can stop at 20. No. Are we creating any at the moment? There we go. Look, we're creating fission pellets, which is going to power our interplanetary craft. Is that going to keep going up? I think maybe what we can do is time warp and see. And there we go, just like that. We are creating fission pellets at 100% efficiency, and look at that, we're making loads. But we are also going to be using a lot of enriched uranium, although apparently, no, we're not. We're not using any. No, we're using the enriched uranium in here first. Okay, cool. So I know this works. This will be our Armstrong, start of our first Armstrong space station. Throw a giant yeet sign into Rock to show Rock who's boss. I don't like Rock anymore, okay? Rock has claimed the life of my one satellite that I sent there, and I couldn't land on it when I sent crew, so I'm very upset. Ruben Kotman, hey. Who is that? They got a wrench, and I don't actually know whose account that is. So, hello, welcome. Do a flip. I personally can't do a flip, and like, yeah, no, I'm very unfit, so we can't do that. But we can't even do a flip with this because there's no control surfaces on it. I mean, there is one very, 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 very small probe core in the middle of this, and I am currently pressing E. And look, there we go. We are starting to move. Wish you could make a mod pack. So the mod list is in the description. I did do a CCAN mod pack before. Unfortunately, I can't actually upload the game data as is because that would break Kerbal Space Program's terms of services and also the terms of services of lots of mods. Pesky Bird, work didn't like a mail from someone named Pesky Bird. Okay, fair enough. I thought that name sounded quite Dutch, and I was like, oh yeah, Pesky Bird is Dutch. He's from the Netherlands, so it could be him. But hello and welcome to the stream. Welcome to a coming home stream, and we're just spinning this completely out of control for no apparent reason whatsoever at the moment, but it does work. Everything does work, which is glorious, and we are burning through our enriched uranium quite quickly. We want to make sure that we don't burn through all of it so that we start using the stuff that's on our fission reactor. That is going to be critically important that we do not use that stuff, because that would be bad. The whole space station would shut down. I'd have a cry. Alice would cry from the other room. She'd probably shout at me. We'd get into a massive argument and everything would be really bad. Anyway, I think she said she was going to come on chat today, but I haven't seen her. Cool. So, we know this works. We can revert back to the spaceplane hangar. And, right, so there are two options now where we could go. I could start designing. There are a few things that I want to design. We've got the ground component of the base, which is going to mine the uraninite, and it's going to mine ore, and it's going to process that into enriched uranium on the ground. So that's one thing, and it's also going to have crew facilities, because in order to produce enriched uranium, you need crew around. You don't have to, but it's super slow if you don't. So we can either build that. We can build the craft that is going to take our enriched uranium from the surface of Armstrong up to this space station, or we can build everything that we're going to need for this to send it off over to Armstrong and then actually fly it. So we can launch this for real and send it off to Armstrong. So let your voice be heard in the comments or the live chat, and I'll see what people want me to do. Uraninite. Now I know why I'm finding game data in my homework folder. Thanks, Karnasa. Yes, the good old homework folder. Someone said that I missed a complete trick with that video yesterday, and I completely agree. When I got to the bit where it's like, and now, like, all that's left to do, load the game. And then it's like, and if everything went well, then you should be at Earth. What I missed was, now you have to wait 30 minutes in order for the game to load up. So why not browse your homework folder? And I thought that would have been really funny. Obviously, I would have said it better in the video. I'd have scripted it a little bit better, but there we go. Kanasa, do an interstellar SSTO. We probably will be doing some sort of SSTO designs when I have the technology later on in this series. I definitely want to get away from the standard conventional rockets that I am using at the moment. But at the moment, because of the rescale of road, it takes 6,000 meters per second of delta V to get into orbit of road. So making a SSTO with those kind of numbers, it's going to be difficult. There are components that I have in my tech tree that will be able to enable me to do that, but I'm not going to be able to unlock them for quite some time, so it's going to be a while before we do anything like that. Can we see launch this? Okay, wait, can we see launch this? What, as in, like, launch it from the ocean? To be honest, I'm not going to be launching this from the sea or anything like that. What we will do for this is we will launch this from space, because we have everything in place in space to launch this kind of vessel. What scale are you playing on? 3.5 times scale. How long does it take this game to load? It takes about 15 minutes, 15-20 minutes maybe. I'm running it on my SSD. I've got 64 gigabytes of RAM, which really helps with the load times, but still there are quite a few mods. Actually loads slower than Realism Overhaul this day for some reason. Will we be able to enable me to do that? English is not Kanas's first language. No, nonsense is my first language. Speaking absolute top tier garbage. That is my first language, if people haven't figured out. Base! Can we see launch this? I have lots of homework. Base, the base. So a lot of people have said the base. Okay, so that is what we are going to work on. We won't launch this yet. If people get bored of seeing me designing stuff, then we can come back and launch this. Right, okay, so we're going to save fission pellets production facility, and we're going to start working on a base. Can I say, make a passenger plane that tours kerbals across the system. Never mind, it's an SSTO. So I wouldn't really do that, because Aerospace is doing something like that at the moment. He's doing solar system tourism, and I like to try and come up with original content and ideas, but I don't know, everyone copies everyone. So Kanasa self-burn, I mean, yes, that's the lowest form of comedy, isn't it? Self-deprecating humor, everyone loves it. Right, so surface base. What on earth are we going to do? We're going to grab one of these command base modules. This looks pretty nice. Does this actually give me the ability to control the base as well? I mean, it is in command pod, so you would like to think so. I think this might be from Benji 10's planet side, surface exploration, vehicular activity program mod. Yes, that one. The words got away from me. Planet side exploration mod, I think it is, or I can't remember the exact name of the mod. The one that adds not solar panels, wind turbines and all that. Really cool mod. Definitely go check it out. It's a very good mod. Right, yeah, I think we might use one of these as kind of our base for the surface base, because I really like the look of this. How much does it weigh? It weighs 5 tons, so it's not a huge amount. We are going to get this up, because we need to make sure that we have enough habitation and all of that for our kerbals. We've only got 7 days at the moment. That is not good. Kanasa, I've had an issue with my aerosave where KCT takes a ludicrously long time to build crafts, even if I invest both of my points into the VAB, please help. Are you tooling your rockets? Because tooling, if you don't tool your rocket, then there is a very good chance that it will take a long time as well. So when you start an RORP1 save, when you get your one build point, you want to put that straight into the VAB, because otherwise it's going to take you like literal years to build anything. Then you want to like build your craft, and you want to tool all of your early game crafts, because it takes like a ridiculous amount of time to build anything if you don't do that. When you get later on in the save, you don't have to tool everything, but it just cuts down on time being built. Hey, Kanasa man, what's up? Hello, Francesco Rivera. Welcome to the stream. Not bad, not bad. Reeling in the delight of the success of the video yesterday. It went very, very, very well. Okay, so we've got this. And as I did mention, we do want to be mining uraninite, however it's said, and we also want to be harvesting ore from the surface of Armstrong. These are the only drills that I have available to me at the moment. As you can see, they are quite chunky. They are very, very large. I don't know where I got these from, but they are friggin' massive, and I have tested these out on Armstrong, and they do work, and they pull up all of the materials that I need like that. It's super duper fast. And now with OPT parts, could you make a fully reusable double spaceplane system? What's a double spaceplane system? But I probably could make a fully reusable spaceplane system later on, because I do have some very nice OPT parts that I will. You can buy upgrade points, Unknown Kerbal. Yes, you can. It costs 20,000 per upgrade point that you buy. And it's definitely worth doing, rather than just relying on science to do it. Okay, right, anyway. I'm faffing about. We need to make sure that we have enough habitation, supplies, all of that kind of good stuff in order to make our crew happy. So what we're going to do is, well, we will be adding one of these at some point, because that's going to be what turns our uraninite into enriched uranium. Okay, K&Key smelter, we don't want to use that. How much do, like, if we just add like some of these habitation models, obviously this is not going to be what it looks like, because if you ask me, that frankly looks rather crap. So we're not going to be doing that, but we will just be checking to see. That does add a lot of habitation on, because it's got a nice part on board, but I'm sure we can do better than that. If we have a look, there are some bigger ones. What about this? How much does that add on? No, not as good. I'm sure there are some that are really quite good. Hitchhiker, that adds quite a bit. I ideally want to be over the year mark. That doesn't do anything, really. Start life support. Oh, it adds life support, though, which is kind of nice. What about the shanty? There we go. That's much better. That's much better, and I think we will be using this, but I will turn it into metal, because this looks metal, and to be honest, I think this looks kind of nice with the metal aspect to it. Come on, get out of the way. I'm going to get rid of life support status for the moment, and we will worry about that later on. We'll turn this into classic, and I think what we will do in order to make this look a little bit better is have a kind of adapter like this, like so, on there, and there we go. And then we can kind of imagine that our Kerbals, press the wrong button then, are able to, damn it, wait, hang on, yeah, no, that is correct, although they're gonna, this would be better theoretically placed upwards, because as we can see, if I can find it, there is a door on here. I've gone around this entire thing. There is a door right there, and that is on that side. So I did want to place this like this, but it would mean that the Kerbals are kind of coming out here and then going down like that. It would be a bit weird. Hey Karnasa, why have you decided to go nuclear for the base and not solar? Was it just because nuclear is superior? Well, nuclear, obviously, it is superior. And also the fact that in this base, well, I'll get it. This is going to be nuclear powered, but we're going to be creating the fuel on site using the Whirlogic nuclear reprocessor. We can see we have this option here called Start Uranium Refiner, and what that will do is if we look into the parts, or, well, the kind of like fluff of the parts over here, if we go to Uranium Refiner, inputs, uraninite. Yeah, uraninite, that is what it is. 1.8 an hour, and we output 8.64 enriched uranium per day. So what we need to do is provide this with the stupid amount of electric charge, so 200 a second, and we also need to input the uraninite. So electric charge, that's going to be easy. What we will do is we will have a nuclear reactor on here that will be able to provide all of the power that we do need. And the uraninite, well, what we're going to do with that is, as I did mention earlier on, we're going to be using one of these ginormous Harvest Atlasters. An automated one most likely as well. I'm going to have to figure out a way of putting this on the actual base. But there we go. I'm just going to create the kind of crew component of the base to begin with, and then we'll get to that exciting nuclear stuff later on. What version is this? This is KSP 1.12.2. So I started this save before 1.12.3 was out. I probably could update it to 1.12.3, but at the same time, I don't want to risk it and break my entire save. So we're not going to be doing that yet, but yeah, it's 1.12 at least, just not the most up-to-date version of 1.12. Okay, right, so we're going to get some of these lovely legs and we're going to place them on here, like so that we are able to, yes, have a stand of some description. And what we'll do is we will make those slightly bigger so that we can, yeah, that's a little bit too large though. I don't think I want them that big. Okay. Is there one? Is that the? Oh no. Here we go. We've got this. We've got this chonky boy. Absolutely fantastic. That is exactly what we do want. Look at that. It fits perfectly like a glove. F. Fail. A. Oh no, it's just the name of that one strut. I was making a new texture for the cape, but Canassa is more important. Sorry, Katniss. I am amazed you're still here after me savagely brutalizing you in the video yesterday. I would say I'm sorry for that, but no, it was funny, so I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry. But at the same time, obviously, it was all meant in humour. No hard feelings. I just love Station Parts expansion. This mod is so good. Yes, honestly, like I think this is from here, from Station Parts expansion. This is from Benji 10's. The two together work really well. They look amazing together, so it's absolutely lovely. Right, what we're going to do on this section is we are going to have a door that leaves. So I think if we go somewhere in here, it might be under utility though. There should be somewhere where we are going to be able to get our crew to come out, like say this evacuation airlock. Come on. But we want that around that way, I'm going to assume, and then yeah, we can get some stairs coming down that way. But I think there may be something a little bit better. Mark 1 command pod, that's interesting. That doesn't look like a Mark 1 command pod to me. Regolith processing system, what on earth can this make? Oh, that just gets dirt. We don't need dirt. Where's the door? A cooler habitation model? Oh, hang on, wait. Yeah, what's this look like? Oh my god, that looks amazing. Look at that. Screw that. I'm having one of those on top. I'm actually going to have that on top of there, and then we'll figure out some sort of domed roof on top of that. That looks really cool. I really like that. Wow, cool. Add colliders to the Cape. Have there not been colliders added yet? I thought colliders were added when it got made to Cape Canaveral HD or Canaveral HD mod. I might be wrong. It's been a while since I've launched anything from the Cape. So, yes, it has been a while. And I am thinking of doing some early RP1 again on streams at some point soon. But I've got so much on my mind at the moment. I've got university. I've got 2 series that I need to prepare for, like For All Kerbal Kind. I am starting working on preparing for that. And coming home, there's a lot that I need to do, so early RP1 streams have been pushed to the back of my mind. And the next millennia as well, I've been starting to work on some base stuff for that. Right, I'm looking for this damn door. When you fix this damn door! God damn it, I've watched too much Spider-Man recently. No Way Home was really good. I highly recommend seeing it if you haven't already. Right. Okay, that's just a T-junction. This is the kind of thing that I do want, though. Can I rescale those? No, I cannot. Okay. Just have a think. I think that looks quite promising. Can I get rid of the nodes on the side? Oh, I can. Lovely. We can make it metal as well. Right. Okay, well, I want the one that doesn't have any nodes on it. Quad node. I just want... I want this. This is what I want. This is exactly what I want. I want to make that metal. I want to put that there, and then I want some sort of structure that will mean that I can connect these all together just nice. So if we come in here real quick and find ourselves a connecty bit. That's too small. It's also too small. Come on. It's also too small on the receiving end. That's the same thing. God damn it. That looks good. That looks perfect. Yes, that's what we want. That's exactly what we want. We can turn that into a metal structure, make that into metal, and there we go. We've got ourselves a little section of the base that we can put stairs. And we can put these here like so, and it will look very, very cool. Come on. Come on. There we go. And if we place that there like so, although they do need to go a little bit higher because that's kind of not where we want them to be. Although I suppose we could extend these legs and make them a little bit longer so that they do match the stairs like that, and then maybe bring these out a little bit as well, like somewhere around there. Yeah, maybe, perhaps. That looks kind of cool. Right, so we're going to auto-strut all of this because that is going to be very, very important. And we're also going to have to figure out how the hell we're going to get this down to the surface of Armstrong. And I'm thinking of maybe making something come this way. And then that way we can have some sort of sky crane on the top that will be a little bit easier to balance where the engines are going to go, because at the moment this is just going to go all over the place, if I'm honest. Ganasa, I need your help, as you are epic KSP player. Oh, I wouldn't agree with that, but thank you. I can't see my KSP saves in the starting menu, even though they are saved, since I can see from the files. Do you know how to fix it? I unfortunately do not. No, I don't. I've never encountered that problem. Are you sure that the KSP instance you're loading is the same one that those save files are at? Because, well, when you're like me and you have loads of different KSP instances, you can sometimes lose track of that. So just make sure that you are running KSP from the same location. Otherwise, I don't know. I can't really say. That's a very odd bug. Kerbadine, Kanasa, live? No, I must be dreaming. I was live last week as well. I was live last Saturday building an interplanetary vessel. Yes, obviously, graphics card has been fixed. So, because of that, I can come back and I can live stream and I can release videos, which I have been over the past week. So everything is good again. Right, Armstrong Surface Base 1 is all this is going to be named for now, because I'm very... Oh, no. Get back on there, you. Get back on there. I didn't say you could come off. And what we're going to do is we are going to put some crew in here, and I'm just going to make sure that they can actually get off this section and, you know, everything be good. So if we get rid of these, and we're just going to have Ziggy Kerman III as our test dummy, and we'll launch this, and we'll see if our brave Kerbonaut can move around this and not get a little bit stuck. Have you considered fuel? Fuel? We don't need fuel to get down. That's what I mean, of course I have. We will be probably lifting this down using liquid fuel and oxidizer. I'll create some sort of sky crane system later on in the stream where it's probably going to attach via docking port on the top of that central section. It will lift the base down, drop it somewhere, and then it will fly off and crash into the surface of Armstrong, rather than leaving loads of space debris in low Armstrong orbit. That's generally what I did the last time that I built a base on Armstrong. So that's what we're going to be running for this time. And one thing as well, I'm going to need to make sure that I do have ground clamps on this, because Armstrong, last time I was there, it was a little bit buggy, a little bit broken, ended up causing everything to sink into the surface, which was never good. Hyperedit, huh? Yes, Hyperedit is great for a game like this when you want to test things out. Obviously, when I do the actual missions, I don't Hyperedit. There we go. That is looking like it is perfect. I really like the look of that. We've got ourselves the startings of a base. Obviously, we do need power and all of that on this as well, but that will come later on. So what we're going to do is we are going to, I think, Jeb, maybe in here, or Ziggy Kerman even. Jeb is not a member of this world, so who's Jeb? We're going to bring him over here, and I'm just going to make sure that he doesn't clip through this and die, because there is a chance that that could happen with the stairs being placed where they are. So if we, EV unavailable, come on, let's, there we go. Cool, looks like you're good. And there we go, Ziggy Kerman, can use stairs? Amazing. And can he climb back up them? Hopefully. Yes, look at that. We have stairs. We are a genius race of Kerbals. We can use stairs and we can climb them, and we can get back on our surface base. Look at that. That's already looking rather cool. We're going to probably add some like radiators, antennas, all of that onto the sides too. But yeah, I'm liking how this is turning out. Let's get rid of ascent stats because we don't need those. And we are going to revert the flight to the spaceplane hangar and work on some more of this surface base. Kanasa, hey Kanasa. I have to go out, but came to hit the like button. Thank you, Hisham Mohsen. Thank you for coming along. I've not seen you for a while, unless you were in the live stream last week. But no, I've not seen your name pop up for a while. Welcome and goodbye. Enjoy the rest of your day. Kanasa, what texture mod do you use to make the modules silver? The modules are from Space Station's parts expansion Redux. I think is the name of the mod. Well, this part is from Benji 10's Planetside Exploration mod, and so are these. And in order to make them silver, that it actually comes bundled with the mod, because you can choose them to be the default white or you can choose them to be metal. And it's the same with these. In the more recent update dates of Space Station Parts Expansion Redux, you can now change it from white to insulated to metal, and you get all of these different options as well. Really, really, really cool. Makes building things like that look really nice a lot easier. It's great. It's a fantastic mod. Both of them are fantastic mods, and I highly recommend checking them out for doing stuff like this, building bases, building space stations. It's great. So they're grey, not silver. I mean, they're meant to be metal, so, you know, they're like... Shush you. It's actually plastic. It is. We're harvesting loads of oil off-site, and we're going to be using the plastic that we produce to make our base. That's exactly what we are going to be doing. Right, so... next thing, I think I might actually leave that like that, because I kind of like the square look, you know. It doesn't need a roof, it's in space. Where's the rain in space? There is no rain, so we can get away with having a flat roof, because roofs really, I think the only reason why roofs are built like that is so that rain can run off them and not collect on the surface of roofs. At least that's what my education when I was in school taught me. That was a long time ago though, so I might be way out of date. Right, so we can get a Clampertron docking port senior on the top of there, or alternatively, we can, not a Monde, we can get a Grande. A Grande will fit on quite nicely, and that does actually look kind of cool. And we can use this for our sky crane system that will land this later on. But before we do that, we are going to want to make this functional. At the moment, we can get, if we put, say, 6 crew in here, and I think 6 crew will be a decent amount to get in here. So if we get 6 crew, we've only got 300 days worth of habitation, which is not brilliant. We've got no power at the moment, and we've got no supplies, so that's what we're going to be working on next, is actually making this livable for our Kerbals. Grande! Call it the Arm Weak surface base, the Arm Weak, rather than the Armstrong. We can do. If it starts getting the standard floppy rocket syndrome, we might call it the Arm Weak, because obviously it's a very weak base. It can't sustain itself it can't sustain its mass under the gravity that it will be subject to. Okay, right, so life support. If we come down to here, this is where we can find our life support. Or we could also potentially find it in payloads, because we have these payloads which do enable us to use life support. That we can put life support in these, which is kind of cool. We're not going to build them like that, no, because that looks just a little bit silly. But we will build them, so hopefully we can... Wow, that music got really loud, so it looks kind of cool. Right, there we go. We'll have that there like so. Another one on the opposite side. And I think what I will do is maybe we'll get some of these coming off this way. So if we get supplies in one of them, so that's 3,600 supplies, then in the next one, what we'll do is we'll get fertilizer, like so, and then that should be enough supplies to last us quite a considerable amount of time. 13 days, apparently. That's not a long time at all. Right, okay, well, yes, but there are things that we can do in order to make that better, such as implementing recycling modules, which we'll probably have coming off in another direction. So, recyclables. If I come to... Where am I looking? I am looking for something that looks really ugly. Sorry, Katniss, not you. Just... I'm joking, don't hate me. Why am I being so mean to Katniss recently? Katniss is great. Katniss makes some really great mods. It's just... Easy target, man. I'm terribly sorry. Anyway. Well, there you go. Laughing, crying face. I know it's all good. Katniss knows I mean it in a very light-hearted, humorous way. So, yes, we're looking for the recycling module, which I think I can find here. We can maybe get one of those on. If we look at this, we start life support and we have a look. That's now going to last us only 22 days. That's not a lot. But we get 262 days with the fertilizer, which is great. 22 days just on its own, that might be okay. That's still not quite over a year, but we can possibly work on that to make it a little bit better. If we add another one of these, we can see that goes up to 66 days. Right, so I think what I might do... is start making this look all kinds of janky. So, in order to make this look all kinds of janky, we're going to grab ourselves a radial attachment port, and we're going to place this on here. If it will let me. Yeah, like so. Then we will offset this in this direction, and we will set that to local. So this is now on a 45-degree angle with the base, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some sort of like tower here, and hopefully this should look pretty cool by the end, but we'll have to see. I'm trying to do it so that the clipping doesn't look too egregious. So if we maybe get that coming off there, then it kind of looks like these two separate parts are connected, especially if we do something like that. It's a shame that this is only white, and because, yeah, if we had this as a white base, that actually looks like it could fit in. Like so. But I prefer the metal look, but maybe making it white might be a better long-term idea, because then this will fit in rather nicely. That was savage. It wasn't, was it? Sorry. I try not to, but it's just the one funny video that I've decided to do, and suddenly I've gone absolutely crazy, apparently. I mean, I've always wanted to do funny style videos. I just never bothered scripting them, and this was the first time that I'd really decided to go in and actually script something. So we can, yeah, maybe this would look better all white. Well, what do people reckon? White base, if we turn all of this like so. Let's get that. I suppose it would also match with like the life support as well. Kanasa, your own audience gonna cancel you. Oh dear. I'd imagine a system where a cargo module comes with life support stuff, dumps its cargo in the base, heads back to orbit where a space plane will pick it up and send it back to be reused. That's probably what we will eventually do eventually. At the moment, I probably will just send life support modules on rockets, maybe, or maybe build them at trap and send them over from there. But reusability is something that I do want to do in this series, but obviously there's a lot of logistics that goes into that and thinking behind it, so it might take some time for that to all come into fruition. And before even sending this base down, there's still going to be quite a few episodes before we probably even get to this, because I want to send a mission to Armstrong where we send some crew. I want to send a rover. I want them to basically scout the area. I know there's uraninite and I know there's ore on Armstrong because I've scanned it, but at the same time it would be nice to send a crew down to the surface so they can, you know, pick up samples, look at the growing green rocks and think, oh my god, that's radioactive, let's take it back home. No, we want to, yeah, we want to explore it a little bit. I don't need to, but, you know, just kind of like for the fluff of the series, I think that would be something a bit nicer to do. White base looks better. I like the grey metal for highlight parts. Yes, well, we've got, I think I didn't actually get rid of the grey metal. So if we have a look at this, the metal bare on the ends and all of that, but we've got the white actual structure. And then, I think white does look better, because that way, when I put this recycling module in here, then it is kind of, you know, tucked away. It looks a little bit more cleaner. It looks like we're not necessarily clipping it in a bad way. And that is kind of what we want to do with this. I'm not really going to be able to get something on top of there, because we do have the Grande module, unless I move this down a little bit further. No, that's not going to work. But I might be able to get something really shallow on top of here, but we can't, because this is theoretically, it's connected to the radial attachment point underneath it. Right, so there we go. We can do something like that, and we'll have those windows that side. That's great. We've now got loads of life support with our fertilizer anyway. What we do need to also do is have some sort of greenhouse module so that we can actually use the fertilizer and turn it back into usable supplies. So we can get these nomomatics on the side. That I'm not too sure on. I'm really not too sure on that. It's a little bit large. One thing that might be good is having this on the end. Yeah, there we go. That's much better. We want to have one of those on the end of those. But I think one of these is only good enough for maybe 2 Kerbals. So we're going to need 3 of these. Let's have a look. So how many Kerbals can this support? So it creates 57 supplies a day. How many supplies a day does a Kerbal use? I don't actually know. I'm going to Google that quickly. I don't have Chrome up. Let me just give this a quick Google and see how many supplies a day does a Kerbal use USI. A Kerbal consumes 10.8 supplies per Kerbin day. at a rate of 0.05 a second and produces the same amount of mulch. So 10.8 supplies per kerbin day. Right. So because I am using real life hours and days here, they are going to consume 4 times that much. So each kerbal will produce or require about 40 supplies a day. Kanasa, I dare you, use Bing. No, not use Bing. Why would anyone use Bing? Ugh, no, not Bing. Bing's the Microsoft one, isn't it? Or like Chandler Bing. Like from Friends. Oh, what is her name? The really annoying character from Friends. Janice? Janet's from Good Place. Janice. Yeah, she's the one that's like got the really weird laugh. Oh my god. Yeah. Alicea, Katniss dates Kanasa. Wait, is Alicea here? She might be here. Alicea, are you joining stream chat or not? I think she might be. Oh no, she's coming in.
Have a think about who you're speaking to like that.
Oh, have a think who I'm speaking to like that? Not after that face. Oh my god, you're such a bit. Bing Chan cries in the background. Anyway, yeah, no, I've never used Bing. Just Google. Yeah, I've used Google since like what 2003, 2002. I don't know. I'll show my age, but I just like Google. I do like Google. Right, so yeah, one of these. Oh, god damn it! I need to go back and check that. That interaction with Alicea has got me all confused, all hot and bothered. She does that to people. I'm glad she's not in the chat at the moment. Right, anyway. Yeah, so actually, this only produces 57 a day. And if I remember, it's 10.8 supplies. So yeah, we need about 40 a day per kerbal. So we need one of these, ideally. Probably we need 5 of these for 6 kerbals, if my math is correct. Or it'll be roughly that. Where's the calculator? I have my calculator. Where's it gone? I've lost it. I can't be bothered opening up the one on my PC. So I think we're going to need, like 5 of these. So maybe rather than having one of these on a end of a section like this, or we could have one on the end of a section like this, but I'm also going to create a tower for them so that we can provide enough life support for our kerbals. But what we're going to do is we are going to create another one of these, and that's going to go on there like that. That is leg extension 31. Let's also make this leg extension 31, like so, and there we go. That should all match up. Well, that looks a little bit lower down, so maybe we will get that to come a little bit further, like so. That looks like it should kind of roughly fit. We'll probably test this out before sending this on its merry way. Anyway, hey Katniss, hello chill guy, welcome to the stream. Still waiting for the day Carnassa launches a nuclear craft in my honor. We shall name it the Chill One. Maybe we will. Maybe we'll name this. Maybe. I mean, Nuke Guy, Chill Guy, whatever you want to be called, whatever floats your boat these days. You have donated so many times to these streams. I think it probably is only fair that I name something after you. You're also a mod on the Discord. You do a lot of work. You help me out. You talk to me. You give me ideas. So maybe we can call this the Chill One base. I quite like that idea, Nuke Guy or Chill Guy. If you're cool with that, then we can name this after you because. You have been a great support to the channel, and I do very much appreciate that, even if I do take the piss out of you sometimes on Discord. So, there we go. Anyway. Kanasa, make me a mod on the Discord. I thought there was a rule against Katniss being a mod on the Discord. I thought that was the one and only rule of the Discord. Like, rule 1, do not make Katniss mod. Rule 2, do not make Katniss mod. I don't know. Yo, Kanasa, can I already get unbanned? What were you unbanned? What were you banned from where? Discord? What are you banned for? Usually there are reasons for being banned. I don't know. I'll have to go and check through the Discord logs and see what was happening. I'll have a look. I'm not on Discord at the moment because I don't do Discord and stream. Don't Discord and stream, children. Like, it's a sure way to crash your PC. It's meant to be like a don't drive, drink and drive advert, but it got away from me. Right, so we're going to turn off the flags from here. So what I want to do next, right, so yeah, this is enough life support, but it will run out because we don't have enough of these aquaponics modules to fully sustain our kerbals. What we could do is make another section of the base and have that having some sort of massive, ginormous life support section where we had either 4 of these, or maybe we look into one of these and see how much these produce per day. So these produce 114 supplies a day, so that's enough for 3 kerbals, roughly, thereabouts, which is actually not enough for what I want to do. So I think what I am going to do is somehow figure out of building a tower segment, or maybe a extended segment that has 4 of these on board. I wonder what legendary nomenclature these crafts will have. It's hard to beat the one from the previous Coming Home playthrough. Well, definitely not. Definitely not. What was it? The surface base. What was it in For All Mankind? I can't even remember. Jamestown. Definitely not Jamestown. And we had definitely not Starship. And we had definitely not everything. So yeah, no. This, I do like the idea of Chill One for this. Because as I was saying earlier on, I was getting all soppy. But Nuke Guy does deserve it. Absolutely. Right, so I think we're going to have a section of this come away. If we make that white and we make these metal, come away. And I think actually we'll just kind of like clip that in there like so and rotate this 90 degrees so the windows are on the side like so. We will toggle this, toggle the flag, get that away, and then this will be the start of our, if I put that up there like that, does that look any better? Because yeah, it's kind of obstructing the window at the moment, but then that's obstructing those windows. No, we're not going to do that. We'll make this like this, but I think I will, you know what, I'll just keep it like that. That's fine, that's absolutely fine. We'll get this, and now I need to figure out how I am going to, see, what I could do is I could have something like this, make that white, and then grab these and put like these on all of the different modules. But to be honest, I think that looks a little bit naff. Like if I were to do this, that would be enough life support for our Kerbals on board. But one, it's too big for the base, and two, it just looks a little bit like, well yeah, you've just got a mold infection spreading all over your surface base. What are you going to do about it? Grab the bleach? Yeah, like, this is, I don't like the look of that at all, so we're not going to go with that idea. I don't want to murder you. Ganasa likes the small talk language. Do I like small talk? Small talk's always fun. It's kind of what you do, streaming. It's just non-stop small talking for like 3 hours or thereabouts. I don't know, it's a lot. It's working on my conversational skills definitely does help me stream and talk as long as I want to. I think I've streamed for like, well no, I did the 24-hour stream before, so that's like 24 hours of non-stop talking. So it's quite difficult doing that. Luckily, I'm quite an outgoing person, and I like to talk my arm off or talk the ear off of anyone that's in range of me, but still, it was quite difficult doing it for that long. Right, I'm seriously going to have to try and think about this a little bit, because I want this to look good, right? This is our first surface base that we've done in the series. I like how this looks. This, I think, is absolutely fine. This section coming off here, I think, is absolutely fine. And this is not good. Not good at all. So, how much do the smaller ones produce? Because I think there is a baby one. Yeah, this one, Nomomatic 5000. That produces 11.4 supplies a day. Is that done right? Is that done in the 24-hour time? Because I've got it set to 24-hour time. Because that would then be enough for one Kerbal. And this thing here would be enough for 4. You know what I think I'm going to do? That's it. Yeah, what I will do, actually. What we will do, in order to test this out, because I don't know if this is going to work, we're going to place one of those on there like so. Like so. We'll get rid of that, because I think actually I'm going to do something a bit different with that. And we'll also maybe get a couple of those on there like that. And then that should be enough agroponics for us for a while. And in order to test this out, what I am going to do is I'm going to launch this, and we're just going to see if our Kerbals run through their supplies. So I'm going to make this look really naff, but we're going to whack a ginormous nuclear reactor on the side here, just because this is what we want, just to make sure that it runs, because we are going to need to use electricity for this. In fact, I'll just put it on top of the docking port for now. Right, we'll do this. And what we'll do is we will cover this, we'll plaster it in massive radiators so that we don't have a nuclear meltdown. So let's turn that to radial. And we'll do, why can't it? Why are you being so annoying, game? Why are you being so annoying? There we go. We'll do that. We'll get 6 of those on, and what I'll do is we will activate that radiator. I'll pull it off, do that, and we will start reactor. Right, yeah. So obviously this isn't going to be there. This is just checking to make sure that these all work, because at the moment I am a bit confused that I need so much, and I think this might potentially work. So we'll launch this and have a look and see if this test works. Jesus, that's a massive reactor. It's 3.5 meters big. It's a very, very big nuclear reactor. Produces 4,000 electric charge a second. It's great stuff. Absolutely fabulous stuff. Really, really good. If you want a lot of power for harvesting things and for producing things and all of the production, expanding production and all that kind of good stuff. It looks like it weighs 10 times more than the entire station. Yes, it is big. It's a chunky boy. It is a very, very large nuclear reactor. Power! Yes. Unlimited power kind of thing going on. That might have been really loud, and I do profusely apologise if I deafened everyone without giving you an audio warning for shouting that loudly. Oh, Katniss is online. Hi. Hello, Katniss. Welcome. It's a very big nuclear reactor, as all reactors should be. Chill Guy is the one to talk about nuclear reactors, obviously. This is a bit sad coming out and testing this, because I would like to be getting on with the building of this, but unfortunately I do need to test this, because I don't want to just be plastering my base full of random rubbish. Okay, so we've not theoretically launched yet, so we're not going to get our mission timer up. So what I want to do is I do want to put this in orbit, so that we can simulate it being somewhere else. And we're just going to leave it in orbit. We're not going to do anything else with it. So let's just put it at 20 million or 20,000 or whatever that is. I can't read how many zeros I wrote. And there we go. We're in orbit, and now our mission timer is going up. Brilliant. So what we can do is the reactor is running, giving us 4,000 electric charge per second. What we want to ensure is that this, if we start agroponics, that our mulch stays at 0, our fertilizer goes down, and our supplies go up. That's what we want to see from this, realistically. So if we do that, then we know that these agroponics units are going to be more than enough to keep our Kerbal sustained. So our supplies are going up. That's great. I think that does mean that this is enough. Yeah. We do. We have enough supplies here. Although, hang on, it looks like when we go in the dark side, we do have a little bit of a blip somewhere where our supplies do go from being produced to not being produced. Or maybe that's just a time warp bug. We are using fertilizer. That's fine. We do seem to be using quite a lot of fertilizer. But that is good. That does mean that we do have enough agroponics units on this base to sustain 6 Kerbals. That's exactly what we want to see. And because of that, if we have a look at this, then we have, well, it doesn't tell us, but we've got 66 days of supplies on this already. That's great, cool. I know that now works, and we can move on from supplies. Right, so we'll revert to the spaceplane hangar and carry on working on this. So, fine, the list is long. The list is long. What list is long? Kanasa, can you put a rotor under the reactor and make it spin? We could potentially do something quite silly like that. I have unlocked actuators, the section, the tech tree section where you unlock all of like the moving parts from breaking ground. So that is something that we could look into doing at some point. But obviously this nuclear reactor is going bye-bye, and we're going to carry on working on the base. So, I think, in general, that is now enough of our habitation section. I don't think we need any more than this. This is enough for 6 Kerbals to last. The only problem is we don't have any sort of rover system or, you know, like any way of getting new supplies and Kerbals to here. But because it's Armstrong, I theoretically should be able to land quite close to the base. When I was doing the Armstrong surface base in the last series of Coming Home, I was able to land like near enough next to the base every single time. Right, hatch, crew hatch, there we go. So I'm going to use one of these flexitubes because they are great, and we can use this to connect to the next section of the station. You'll notice that I've not got any way of producing power on here at the moment. And I'm thinking, actually, I was going to say, well, I'm not going to need any sort of power production. But that might be better to have maybe just a couple of solar panels on, just for emergencies. I think we will do that, actually. We'll grab, what are these ones like? If we go extend, they're the circular ones. I would quite like some straight ones. Maybe we'll just put one of those on, like a flat solar panel running along here, like so. And we'll get that up a little bit, like that. Come on, up you go. Lovely stuff. Lovely, lovely. Is that not on absolute? Ah, it is now. And then if we do this on absolute as well. Why won't you let me select things? There we go. Do that on absolute as well. And we bring that so that they're roughly in line with each other. And that is looking good. Can I bring that down 1, or is that too much for this? That is too much for this section, so we have to have it up there, which is a bit of a shame because it does look like they're kind of hanging ever so slightly, but to be honest, we'll never notice that. That's such a small little hang that it doesn't matter. And the sections, I mean, theoretically, yeah, we've got connection, that's fine. We'll grab that like that, and that's good. Okay, I need to go catch a train. See you guys all later. Better like the stream. Thank you, Chill Guy, Nuke Guy, for coming along to the stream. Enjoy your train ride. I guess, like your train trip, your train journey, you'll see. Just realised struts are pretty much duct tape. They pretty much are. Like, we could maybe grab something and connect those, but I think, like, any strut that I have, if I go to the struts, which are here, they're going to be way too big. And I can't, for some reason, even place them on. I can place them on there. Yeah, no, look, I can't even place it on this module. That's really bizarre. Maybe what I could do is do that, do that, and then move the strut across. I mean, it's barely noticeable, but at least now that way I know that I have some way of these being connected. It looks maybe a little bit better, and we'll keep those there like so. Canassa does city skylines in space. Is that what we're doing at the moment? City skylines in space. Kind of. We're making a rather big base. I mean, it's not that big at the moment, but it will hopefully be quite big. Right, okay, so that's this part of this done. We got a little bit of power. We will be having a nuclear reactor that we attach. Oh, one other very important thing. We're going to take this off. And in order to have control over this, when we don't have crew on board, I am just going to, you know, sneak a little probe core in there that no one needs to know about. And there we go. We'll whack that down there like that. And that's a little bit too far. There we go. That is now back and how it should be. Cool stuff. And one other thing. Like, I swear I'm almost done with this section of the base. I swear. I just keep having one other thing to add all the time. We'll raise that up a little bit like that. So that's pretty much in line with the other stairs. And now we have 2 methods of leaving the base for our Kerbals. We've got this way and we've got that way. Any supplies that get launched to here, we can try and land them on this, which will be very fun to do later on. We could attach them using the flexi tube, or we can figure out a way later on. But I think that is that part of the base done for now. So what we're going to do is we are going to save this. And this will all be launched as one. And let's actually check where most of the mass is. So despite this section being a lot shorter, most of the mass is over this way, because obviously we do have the supplies and the fertilizer full up. And I think I do want to launch this with these like so, because then that way I don't have to resupply it when I've launched it. If I empty them, let's have a look. What's that going to look like? It is roughly going to be in the middle here, which is absolutely fabulous for the base. But I think, yeah, I do want to launch it with supplies and fertilizer. There we go. Cool. Save. That is that part done. So, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to quickly go have a break because I really need a drink and I need to sort out some diabetic stuff. But I will be back momentarily, and once I am back, we're going to be working on the actual factory part of producing supplies, enriched uranium on the surface of Armstrong, which would be very cool. Thank you for watching this first part of the stream. I'll be back in probably about 5 minutes. Until then, yeah, have this lovely stream be right back screen that I made. So, yeah, in a bit. Hello everyone, and I am back. I've got myself another can of Diet Coke and I'm all prepared. I just need to sort this out with my insulin pump. My artificial pancreas. I'm a cyborg. It's actually just connected under my skin and my stomach. It's a lovely piece of kit and it keeps me alive, but I just need to sort this out real quick. But I thought I'd get back on and chat whilst I'm doing this. So I saw someone said the FlexiTube. Basically what it is it's a docking port that if you have two flexi tubes, you can get a cable to come out, you can right click it and you can drag it around and you can connect things up super easily that way. It's a much better way of connecting things rather than like bumping them right up next to each other. It makes life a lot easier. I should have used it in the last Coming Home series, but I didn't. I was a bit of a masochist and I wanted to bump all my stuff together. Not the best of ways of doing it, but still, it's a really, really nice piece of kit from, I think, USI, MKS mod that's introduced in. Might be wrong, I could be wrong. I'm fairly sure it is, though. I think it says USI MKS on it, right? Yeah, there we go. Artificial pancreas is working. I'm getting insulin into my body as I should be, so I'm good to carry on streaming. Diabetes sucks, but I've lived with it for 20 or a lot of years, 27 years. So yes, it's something that I kind of know and hate. Someone did mention as well that there was a ladder on the other side and that should not be there, so thank you for pointing that out. Obviously I had symmetry on when I was placing this, so we are going to get rid of that. And what we're going to do is we are going to bring that down like so, and that should hopefully be all connected. Right, so that's that part of the base all done. I think the next thing that I am going to do is rather work on the nuclear section of it, the actual main structure of the base. What we're going to do is we are going to work on the way of getting this down to the surface of Armstrong, because obviously we've got to get a way of being able to bring this from low road orbit over to Armstrong down to the surface. So in order to do that, what we are going to do is we are going to create ourselves some sort of sky crane system. And this thing weighs 40 tons, so it's quite large. It is a bit of a hefter in terms of how big this is, so we are probably going to need quite a large way of getting this down to the surface. Maybe one of these ginormous NR tanks. They look rather promising. So I think we're gonna get that on there like so. And what we'll do is we'll come to engines and we're going to grab, if I can find it, this Club Vernier engine, because I really like the look of this. It's got relatively decent ISP, and obviously it takes friggin' forever to burn all of that off. So what we are going to do is we're going to create 4 of them around this like so, and then we're going to set them to be wide, because everyone loves a wide engine, and then we will make these bigger. We'll make them chunkier, and there we go. That's now 134 seconds of burn time to burn through everything that we've got on here, which is going to be great. We get 1,591 meters per second of delta V. Okay, that's cool. That might not be enough. I'm going to have to check that out, but we'll place those there like that, around there. We will retract the stairs because we don't need those out, and we'll retract the stairs over here. Then what we can do is we can, I think what I might do actually, if I bring that off, get a fuel tank that is quite small. I want a small one. One like, not, whoa, that's really big. That's friggin' humongous. We don't want that. We want maybe, no, that's too small. I want something that is going to be able to connect that to that like that, yeah, but that's not really the, I kind of want something a little bit shorter than that, because that is quite long. That is very, very long. But it doesn't look like I have the ability to do that. Like, what's that? No, that's one of the friggin' humongous ones. And that's even bigger. So I guess this is our shortest one. But that is pretty damn massive. That's massive. That's going to make us go up to 114 tons. How much is this one on its own? About 40 tons worth of fuel. And that gives us 2,491 meters per second of delta V over 269 seconds. Thrust to weight ratio of that. That's fine. We might actually have to do something like this, though. It's a lot of liquid fuel. But I mean, if it works, it works. And obviously, our thrust is not going through our center of mass in the slightest. Can we change that so that we do? No, that doesn't really change anything. What if we change this to go... No, no, we're not going to be able to change anything. That's a bit of a shame. So this might get a bit all janky and wobbly when we actually want to try and fly it, but we'll see. We'll put some of these verniers on here so that we can actually get some sort of control. We'll place some there and we'll place some there. And there we go. It might be... I'm just wondering, like, can we maybe move this like that? That looks a bit janky, because obviously those are connected. Like, they're supposed to be connected via docking port, but that is going to fire us down at the center of mass. And if we do that, if we get rid of all the fuel, what's that going to look like? Still roughly firing through the center of mass. What's RCS build aid saying? Saying not good. It's saying very, very bad. Why have you designed a craft that does this? Okay, let's have a look. We might be able to do something. Yeah, that's getting worse. Why is... We got more... Hang on. I'm not entirely sure what's going on here. Why are we getting so much torque? Where's the build aid menu? Build aid, where are you? Build aid, you should be up. You should be up. I pressed 5. Oh, there we go. Why is... Oh, there we go. Right, so let's move this until we can roughly get... So do we want altitude engines? We want this to be as close to 0 kilonewtons of torque as possible, obviously, and then that way we won't be getting any kind of weird effect. So that's going down. If we bring that over, there we go. That's now going up. So that's 80. It goes down if we bring it that way, 60. So it can get to about 60 kilonewtons. That's still not brilliant. That's quite a lot of torque. If I get rid of those and replace them, it might help us out a little bit here. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. Right, let's go. I'll go for something like so. 4 on there, like that. 0.855 kilonewtons. There we go. That's a bit better. That's way too big. I think I want them to be 1.25. There we go. We'll bring those up there like so. Drag those out. 4.6. There we go. That's looking a lot better. And we bring those out. Bring those out even further. I don't even know if this is going to work at the moment because obviously we have got the docking ports at a really weird angle. Let's just try and get this as close to 0 as possible. 3.5. 0.671. Okay, that's about where I want it to be. But if we empty this out, what's that going to do? It's going to change it up to 1.5. So it's going to get a bit worse, but it still won't be terrible. Okay, well, that is kind of what we want to be seeing. On the top of airlock, it's Mahusiv and more supplies as ballast. Add more supplies as ballast. I could actually. That might be a smarter idea. And it might make it look a little bit better as well. Pocking door, janky boy, this is janky. Be right back. Okay, Katniss, not gonna lie, all this offsetting seems to be harder than just slapping some supplies on the long end of the moment arm. Yeah, I think maybe what we can do is just slap some more supplies on. Or maybe some sort of ballast or some sort of counterweight. So I think we need to bring it over this way. So if we find ourselves maybe some supplies or something... Maybe an additional recycling module? No, we don't really need those, do we? We've got... Where did those go? Oh, they just got tucked inside there. Right, so 650 kilonewtons. Torque, that's not great for our torque. We're going to need something really heavy on this side. Something really heavy. I suppose what we could do is maybe have some fuel. Like, do we get some RCS on here? Go for... Oh, come on. 90 degrees, please. 90 degrees. 176. That brings it down by 20. That brings it down. But look how big that is. Like we need a lot. We need a lot on this side in order to bring the... bring the torque down. Like that's 400 worth of monopropellant. What's even heavier than monopropellant? Or what about a container tank that's filled with ore? Can you fill stuff up with ore? Or do you have to... Oh no, you can. There we go. We can get it there. If we get a container tank holding ore there. And to be honest, this will be using ore. So this might not be the worst thing in the world to do. So it's 16.921 kilonewtons, and we still get quite a lot of delta V from this, which is fabulous. Now if we try and maneuver this around a little bit to the point where it will be... Right, so if we move that, yeah, no, we're still getting a little bit of torque, 17 kilonewtons, and that's about as low as I can get. Because there is something, yeah, because we've got slightly offset sides with the stair being that side and just the flex support being that side, we are going to get a little bit of torque from this still. But it's only a small amount of torque, and maybe our engines will be capable of withstanding that. And I think what I will do is I'll move those a little bit further across, and we will up that a little bit. Hopefully this isn't going to kill all of our fuel. So we get 16.8 there. Yeah, and it's kind of coming in this direction. So maybe we could even add something very, very, very small on this side, and that might help. Or this side even, because I think this side is the heavier side. We'll have a look. We'll have a look. Fuel tank definitely would work too. I love when I have good ideas. Thank you. Paul Hughes, if it was your idea to do this, then thank you very much. Imagine if NASA brought ore to the moon. I mean, that's basically what we're doing. We're just like, you know what? Screw it. We need to be heavier. Let's just bring something really unuseful. Except this will be useful because we are going to be converting said ore into liquid fuel and oxidizer at this base as well. This is going to be a mining base for you. What is that? Look at that. Friggin' Tokyo Drift, man. That thing was going at like 1,000,000 miles an hour through the friggin' spaceplane hangar. I'm surprised no one's died. That was super quick. Wow. Speedy. Speedy boy. Very speedy boy. Right, so what can we put on here? Maybe some sort of scientific experiment, or maybe even antenna. So we only want one, and if we place that on this side, you can get it down to 15... Yeah, so it definitely needs to be on this side. Oh, there we go. Look, 13. You can get it 13 if we place it on here. Right, let's try and figure this out. 13. To be honest, 13 might not be too bad. We can kind of have a look and see how that does, and it's nice to have like a big antenna on this, and then we can talk back to Kerbin, or Road even, and everyone's going to be super happy. Although that is a little bit dangerous being that close to the docking port, because there's a chance that I may not be able to dock with that. Okay, 14 kilonewton, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, we'll try and go for that for now. Yeah, I think that will be good for now. Honestly, I never use the spaceplane hangar, so I'm a really bit janky with the controls in the spaceplane hangar. It's something that I just never use, because I never tend to build spaceplanes. But what we're going to do is we are going to put a probe core on top of that, and that needs to be flipped the other way. We'll give that a little bit more size. It's a shame that this thing is so big, because now that looks a little bit silly, but it doesn't matter because we're going to be launching this from space anyway. And what we'll do is grab a couple of solar panels that I think we will place, place there and there, and then hopefully that should provide us enough power for this to get us out to Armstrong and land this thing. Look how big that is compared to the size of the base. That's friggin' ridiculous, but I think it's what we're going to have to go for. 2,225 meters per second delta V might be a little bit overkill, but we'll see. And in order to test that out, we're going to go attempt to fly this. What we're going to do is we are going to launch this. I am going to... Oh, great, we've got crew on there. I didn't mean to keep crew on there. But I'm going to hyper-edit this into low-road orbit, because when I construct this will be from the space station. It will be from Trap, so we're not going to be launching this from the surface of road, because the shape of this is just going to be so janky. How on earth are you expected to put that inside a payload fairing? What we're going to do, yeah, we're just going to build this from Trap, send it over to Armstrong from Trap. So in order to test that out, I'm going to put this into low-road orbit, and we're going to try and fly it. You can try to talk to Kerbin. It's kind of hard. Yeah, we do have Kerbin in the system, actually. That is true. That is the end goal. The aim aim for this series is to get back to Kerbin. We're a long way off that yet. Thirsty. The problem with doing all of this is it takes really long to come out to the actual flight screen from being inside the design stream. I should start like just, you know, doing like playing songs on my guitar whilst we're in the loading screens, and then that way at least I can try and be entertaining during the loading screens, because otherwise it's just a lot of staring at a blank screen and not really seeing what's going on. Right, we're going to auto-strut these, which is something that I should have done before, but I was a little bit of a lemon and I forgot to do that. We'll auto-strut all of those as well, and there we go. And what we're going to do is we are going to cancel Flight Manager for recoverable stages. We're going to go to Orbit Editor, and we are going to go for Active Vessel, and we're going to put this at a height of 750,000, because that's where trap is. Right, cool, there we go. Lovely, lovely stuff. Now what we want to do is we want to set Armstrong as our target, like so, and we want to plot ourselves out a maneuver node in order to get there. So if we add a maneuver and bring this out to Armstrong, come on, because yeah, we need quite a lot of delta V to get there, like 1,187 apparently, or thereabouts, to roughly get to Armstrong. And what we want to do is we want to bring that on. No, I think Lua might be in the way of our Armstrong encounter. I think Lua might be in the way of our Armstrong encounter, which is going to be really rather annoying. It is. It is. It actually is. Damn it, Lua. Why you do this? Why you do this, Lua? Because now when we go this way, we're gonna go screaming past Armstrong. I think what we're gonna have to do is wait a couple of revolutions in orbit for Lua to kind of get out of the way, and then we'll try again. So if we time warp this a little bit, now we try to do this. If we cancel this, I said cancel. There we go. Let's try going for Armstrong again. All the way out over there. And let's just move it along the orbit until we get our encounter, which I think... Oh, we're getting close here, I think. Ah, God, no, 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 no. Stop time warping. Ah! There we go. That's getting pretty close. I mean, we're going to pretty much get an encounter there as well, but Lua, once again, is interrupting our encounter by being a very, very annoying moon. Bad moon, Lua, but, oh, I mean, we could, I think, yeah, no, we need to, Lua's just going to slingshot us right past it again. All right, let's wait a little bit longer. Okay, why don't you use Crash? I've not got Crash on this install. I really should install it, because usually what I'm used to is playing with Kerbal Construction Time from RP1, and yeah, we've got a damn alarm clock going on. Let's get rid of you. Maneuver. Okay. Yeah, no, usually I play with Kerbal Construction Time, which with its simulations in RP1 at the moment does have its own built simulation feature. I should really download Crash, because that also does that exact same functionality. It basically would save me all of the steps of hyper editing into orbit, doing all of this rubbish stuff. It would just make my life a lot easier. But to be honest, I don't really want to add any more mods than I have already, because this game already takes long enough to load up. And adding more mods is just going to make that a lot worse. Right, let's have a look. We should theoretically be able to get an encounter with Armstrong now, or I'm hoping. If we're a little bit high. So if we go there, oh cool. Look, there we go. Look at that. We're pretty much there. Right, okay, so I'm going to have to do a bit of a maneuver on the way over to try and change our encounter. So if we go for that, bring that down a little bit. Come on. Come on, let me just click the maneuver. No, not ALCOR. I want to select the maneuver. There we go. Thank you. Please and good night. Right, okay. So if we change this out a little bit. Yeah, there we go. That's not looking the best. If we move that round, there we go. We've got an encounter there. This is going all kinds of janky. We do have an encounter somewhere though. There. Target position at closest approach. No, that's not an encounter. Why is this proving so damn difficult? It's because we're at a really weird angle compared to Armstrong. You know what? You know what I'm going to do? This is probably going to be a ridiculous burn, but we'll see if this helps us out. We'll get to our descending node. We're 3 degrees off. It's the wrong way. We'll do this. There we go. It's only going to be 229 meters per second. That's not actually that bad. We'll do that. There we go. And that should hopefully get us to in the same inclination as Armstrong, which is going to make this burn a lot easier. It would be better if we performed our burn to Armstrong and then did a bit of a correction on the way. But I can't be bothered figuring out where that is going to be because Lewis seems to be getting in the way and I'm not being very good at plotting out my maneuver today, apparently, for some reason. Right, so we're going to start our burn in 50 seconds. Let's kill the warp, let's turn the node on, and let's point towards it. Konasa, the floating head. Yes, I am a floating head. I'm a floating head on the side of the screen. In fact, if you look, I'm actually one of the Kerbals. If I sit down here, look, I'm a Kerbal. That's what they do, isn't it? They kind of like open their mouths and shout. Check the time on that encounter. Couldn't watch stream live. I was forced to watch Boss Baby. I've never seen Boss Baby. Is it bad? I don't know. I've never seen it. Right, are we controlling from here? Because that would be good. Yes, we are. 3, 2, and 1, and burn! And burn! There we go. Look at that. Listen to that. The sound of those engines. Waterfall looking a bit janky because I've rescaled the engines, but still, we're on our way. We're changing our inclination and everything is going to be great. Karnasa Kerman. Yes, I was. I put myself into the game. I was in the game. I achieved my lifelong dream of becoming a Kerbal. Right, so we are changing our inclination and kill. Right, 1.2 meters per second still. Let's just burn that a little bit more. 0.1. If we go and get rid of this. What is our rendezvous planner? Rendezvous info. That's what I want. Our relative inclination is 0.01. There we go. Absolutely perfect. Now this is going to be much easier to plot out our maneuver to Armstrong. Okay, right, so we're here. We have used up quite a bit of Delta V doing this, but I think we should have more than enough anyway. I think this will be a complete success testing this out. Right, if we go for that and then move that around like so. Still getting lure, being a pain in the ass. Come on. About there. There we go. Oh, look, there we go. Finally, we've got an encounter. Because that didn't take far too long to do. Usually I can get an encounter with Armstrong really easily. Maybe it's because I launch into the plane of Armstrong every time that I launch something to it. Right, come on, let me select my goddamn maneuver. Why is the game being so irritating? I think it's because I had Principia on this save, and now I do not, because Principia is being really annoying too. Come on, let me just... Oh, screw it, you know what? Maneuver node editor. Let's just do it on this. Right, prograde. We are 578,000 meters away. And what we'll do is we'll move that by 1. There we go. And there we go. We're going to crash right into the surface of Armstrong. 92,000 meters or thereabouts. 52,000 meters. That's looking good. It's going to take us 2.5 minutes to burn this. That's a friggin' long time, but oh well, I guess that's what we've got to live with these tiny little engines on the side. We'll see how this goes. And what I'm going to do in this test is I am going to run the entire flight just to make sure that everything does work as intended. So we are going to attempt to land on Armstrong with this. Then we'll get back to building the next section afterwards. Right, so let's start this engine up. And whoa! Okay! What happened there? Interesting. Is that because of our... Yeah, it is. It is. There's too much talk on this. See, that's not good. That's not good. The gimbal on this should really be able to negate that though, surely. Right, okay. Fair. Fair. Just slightly incrementing the throttle is... What? Alright, I am confused right now because now we are able to fully throttle and it work. That's... I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. Why can we full throttle now and before it made us go spin all over the place and like, oh, it's weird. Can I, sir, use the arrow on the bottom left? Turn off, I should use the arrows on the bottom left. It's just something like those were added way after I learned how to play KSP, so it's something that I tend to avoid, but we'll see. I like to use maneuver node editor anyway. Oh, what was that? Was that a subscription? Was that a donation? I don't know. I can hear it, but I can't see. Someone subscribe to the channel. See, I can hear that noise, but obviously, because it's on my overlay and I'm looking at the game, I can't actually see what comes up. I'm sure there's a way about that I could do that, so have it up on my second screen where I could see, but thank you. Welcome to the channel, if you're here, or if you've just randomly subscribed to it because of one of my other vids, I don't know. But yes, thank you, welcome. It's a pretty cool place to be, if I do say so myself. Maybe, I don't know. I did put myself on the list of awesome content creators though, because I'm big brain or whatever, but I don't know. Hi, and now I'm back. Welcome back, Katniss. Welcome back to the stream. You should add a cutout to the bottom right corner that will show you if you are in a ship like a Kerbal. I could actually do that. That would take a really long time in OBS to configure, but that might be something quite funny to do. Like how far away am I now? I'd have to be like. I should probably be back in the game and paying attention, but yeah, that would actually be kind of funny. Kalasa, it's a very big brain. It's a very big brain. I don't know. I've built a craft that wobbles all over the place when we try and fire up the engines, so not sure how much of a big brain move that is, because this is obviously going to get more and more out of control the less fuel that we have in here, which is not going to be great, and it does mean that when we get to landing it's going to be rather difficult, or at least I'm going to assume. We'll have to see. 10,000 subs by the 6 months. That would be very nice if I can get 10,000 subs in the next 6 months. I think I should be able to hit that, but I'm not sure. 0.8, there we go. Let's kill rotation and see where we are after that bit of a janky maneuver that we had to begin with. Right, lovely. We are actually crashing straight into Armstrong. Sweet stuff. There we go. And we'll just use... So in order to move my position now, all I'm doing is pressing H and N on the keys to use my RCS on board the craft to just kind of maneuver me out a little bit. Right, so 25,000 meters. That's probably a good amount to try and go for. Now, how much Delta V is it going to cost us to capture? We only have 809 left. So it's going to be about 300, 400 to get us into a nice low orbit. Okay, which leaves us 400 to land. That should be more than enough. Armstrong is really easy to land on. So if we have 400 meters per second to land, I'm fairly sure we should be good. I need to get rid of the flag that's on there as well. So someone was telling me that conformal decals now works for KSP 1.12. So I'm going to have to download that in order to get my conformal decals back. Because when I started this series, I had a load of conformal flags. I designed loads of stuff for this series. And I've not really had the chance to use them because conformal decals has gone, no, Kanasa, we're not going to allow you to use these. You're a bad person and we want to break for you. What was that? Was that part of the music? But yes, no. We so I should be able to download those and hopefully get those to work, and then I can plaster like pictures of unicorns and fairies and all of the pretty things all over the side of my spacecraft, and it will look very cool. So Kanasa, turn off some of the craft on the map and you will be able to select maneuver node easier. Yes, yeah, you know what? that's a big brain move. Let's turn them off. Let's turn off everything, because really we're only focusing on this at the moment, and then we can kind of figure out what we're going to be doing with our craft. Right, anyway, Armstrong is... Oh! I overshot it! Oh, that's annoying. That's really annoying. Now we are not going to be able to perform that burn and capture and see if I can land. Right, so how much would it have been to capture around Armstrong? 389 meters per second, which means we will have had about 420 meters per second left. Okay, right, so what we are going to do is we are going to select active vessel and just pretend that I actually managed to achieve that burn. What we're going to do is we're going to go for 25,000 and apply. And there we go. We magically did perform our burn at Armstrong. Look at that. No one saw a thing. We made it. We made it. That was just me being a little bit impatient. But in order to make sure that we are on the correct amount of fuel, what we are going to do is we are going to remove some of our liquid fuel and oxidizer until we get to 406 is okay. That's roughly how much we would be having. This is going to be tight because we're going 148 meters per second at the moment. So this is actually going to be a lot closer than I thought. Although the gravity losses around here aren't going to be very high. I think what I want to do is I want to land in the highlands because that's where all of the uraninite and the liquid fuel or the ore that we are going to be needing is going to be. So let's turn this retrograde and let's start burning. Why are we losing? Whoa! Okay. Huh? How long have I been streaming for?
How long are you going to?
I don't know. I've been streaming for an hour and 45 minutes. Probably for like 3-4 hours, maybe. I don't know. Why?
Just
Okay.
when to make food.
Want to make food?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, maybe till like 8. Alistair being nosy. Magic! Magic! That looked cool! Do it again! Right, anyway, so what we're going to do is I do want to try and land in the highlands. So we're going to start our burn. And hopefully we should get ourselves a nice highlands encounter. So highlands, yeah, this all looks like it is the highlands. So this is going to be great. We want to land somewhere that's relatively flat at the same time. So highlands... Yeah, let's try and land in this kind of little gorge here. That looks like it might be quite nice to land in. We're going 128 meters per second. Our suicide burn countdown. Oh, there's a place that we landed there. We plop down a flag. Right, so burn time is going to take us... Let's get rid of that. Where's our impact timer? Impact timer, give me impact. I need to know how long it's going to be until I smash into the surface. Right, so 22 minutes and 40 seconds and before we smash into the surface. We are currently over the highlands now. So I think what I might do is I might start burning and trying to land as soon as possible. And I might turn the RCS off for this. Here we go, final descent. Oh dear. Right, okay, no, we absolutely need the RCS on. We're getting a weird kind of things being all wobbly. So I think what we will do is we'll just start burning and getting to the point where, right, how much can we push this? Right, so we probably want to go surface velocity. There we go. So we can actually push this quite nicely. We can turn the RCS off now as well. And this is going a lot better because, yeah, I would quite like to land in this section down here. Let's throttle up a little bit more. Still landing in the highlands because, yeah, like, this looks nice. This looks like the sort of place that you want to go on a summer holiday or take your grandparents to visit. It's very nice and flat despite being in the highlands, so this is definitely kind of where we want to aim for. We're still going to be landing in the highlands, and what I really, really don't want to do is land on this ginormous slope here, which is exactly where we're heading for. Yes, that's exactly where we're heading for. Let's try and kill all of our horizontal velocity and just land, like let's land where we are right now. Let's just land here. Land here, please. Come on. Let's push that up. Burn off all of our horizontal velocity. There we go. 10, 9, 8, 2, 1, and we're going 65 millimeters per second. There we go. Now what we'll do is we'll point up. And I'm going to turn the RCS off for this and just use the reaction wheels, and then that way we shouldn't really change our horizontal velocity at all, which will be great. Come on, guys. It's not rocket science, Canassa. Give Zaka1349 RSS tips. Give me RSS tips, please. I'm bad. RSS tips. Tool everything to begin with. Reuse your stages, reuse your diameters, because reusing diameters is great for money early game. Design launch vehicles with payloads in mind. So what you want to do is, if you've got, say you want to get 25 tons to orbit, build a rocket, put a tank in there, fill that tank with lead so that it's got 25 tons in, then build a rocket that can take that tank and have about 9,400 meters per second of LSV in it. And then that's the kind of way that you build launch vehicles, and then just kind of like change them accordingly. I like to have ones that are like 5, 10, 25, 50 and 100 in my series, and then that way I've got like a launch vehicle for every occasion. What else can you do? Use MechJeb to kind of like plot out a lot of maneuvers. It'll make it a lot easier. Download transfer window planner, the one that's located on the RO Discord, because that one is really rather very good, and you can get some very nice transfer windows with that. What else can I say? Just watch YouTubers, see what they get up to. I did mention a whole load of people in my video that I released yesterday. Watch streams, see what everyone's doing. Obviously, I'm not doing RSSRO at the moment, but I will be probably doing RSSRO streams at some point soon, especially when I join For All Kerbal Kind. I do plan on streaming a fair amount of the stuff that I will do in For All Kerbal Kind, so that will be something very cool. So I will be doing a lot of RSSRO streams when that comes around. Right, we've got 160 meters per second of fuel left, and we're going, yeah, this should be fine. I think this will just about make it. We're going to have barely any fuel left by the time we get this down, but that doesn't really matter as long as we have at least some. Right, let's just really kill this throttle now. And what we're going to want to do is we do want to try and, yeah, actually, let's just use our RCS. Go like that, and we're killing off too much now. Right, come on, let's use this. Like so. Sorry if I don't talk too much about the chat at the moment, because I'm obviously trying to land a very heavy surface-based module. Probably should turn this around, because the slope is going that way, I think, and this is kind of like the long way of the craft, so this might be a little bit better if I were to turn it this way and land it this way. And you know one thing that I've forgotten to put a ground anchor on this, so that's going to mean this is not the best, but we'll see. Right, come on, let's come down really gently. 73 meters per second of delta V remaining. We're going 1.5 meters per second. There we go, coming down at like 0.5 meters per second. Lovely stuff. 1 meter per second, 0.8, 0.7. Right, there we go, 0.2. Come on. There we go, and let's turn this off. We are kind of floating a little bit. Oh boy! Come on, other way. There we go. Let's do that. That's fine. We have a successful touchdown on the surface of Armstrong. Obviously, we hyper-edited this here, so this is not going to be the final thing. We are going to have to bring this down again. But what we can do is we can extend this ladder, and we might try and land this somewhere where there's a little bit more flat ground, like say maybe over there. That looks like it's a little bit flatter. It might be a bit better for me doing that. There we go. Our ladders have extended. That's made this kind of look a little bit better. Can we extend those? No, apparently not. But we should hopefully be able to get our Kerbals go out on EVA. Cool. Yeah, we can bring these down. Whoa! Let's get rid of the land so we can get rid of that. Look at that. Ziggy Carbon has landed on the surface of Armstrong, and he's looking very happy with himself. And obviously we've got some hanging legs there, which is a little bit weird, but you know, we'll live with it. So what I wanted to do actually was to show you kind of like what the flexi tubes do. Obviously we've only got one flexi tube at the moment, so it's not really that great. But what we can do is, if we get close enough, maybe I need an engineer for this. Do I need an engineer for this? Or is this just not working? Right, maybe, yeah, I'll try with an engineer. Come on, why are we not using our RCS? There we go. Let's get you back on board, Mr. Ziggy Kerman, and we'll bring an engineer out and just make sure that we can use this, because that's a little bit concerning. That's a little bit concerning, right? Oh god, come on, just climb on board this. Get in the hatch. Get in the hatch. Let's board it. Cool. So, Kanasa, Hyper Editor, you should have put a bit more delta V in there. I mean, yes, like we had 60 meters per second left. That is running into... Did I really not put an engineer on here? I've got scientists. No, I didn't put an engineer on here. Damn it. That's rather annoying. So I can't test this out to see if an engineer will work. But yeah, I think maybe we should do a little bit more delta V in there because 60 meters per second really isn't great. Like, it's really not great at all. But then obviously all this will do is then get yeeted off into space and we will forget about it. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to revert the flight to the spaceplane hangar. Now that I know that I can successfully land that on Armstrong, what we could do is potentially, as I think it was, what was it, Y Mandarin? Or was it someone else? Someone said put more delta V in. Someone said, I can't see where it was. Yeah, it was Y Mandarin. Yeah, no, we can come in and have a look at putting maybe a little bit more fuel in this to make it a little bit more, you know, the margins at the moment, they're very tight. Very, very tight. We want to make them a little bit better so we don't end up crashing into the surface. But it does work. It does completely work, which is rather lovely. So what we could theoretically do is maybe grab this off here. And just to squeeze, actually no, we'll keep that on. What do we have at the moment? 2010 meters per second, 2225. If we say, come into here and grab ourselves some extra fuel tanks, this is probably what we want to do. So if we go for maybe, is that just liquid fuel? Is that liquid fuel and oxidizer? It's LFO, lovely. So 2247. That really doesn't add an awful lot if we create these, but you know, we'll go for it. We maybe make 4 running down on top here. Because this, theoretically, like this doesn't need to have any kind of shape. It's always going to be in space. So that doesn't matter in the slightest. And then what we can do is we can just get some of these on the end, like so. And that gives us 2294. 2294, that gives us 70 meters per second more delta V, which means we'll have 130 when we land. So that gives us 130 meters per second leeway, which really, I feel a lot more comfortable about that. And there we go, we'll get that there like so. And then this is the weirdest looking sky crane in all existence. But I suppose this is the part that's going to get us to Armstrong and then also land us. So it's going to be a multi-use sky crane. There's going to be a lot that we're going to do with it and it'll be great. All right, okay, so we can save that up. I do want to come back and launch this once more with an engineer on just to make sure that that flexi tube does work. Because if that doesn't, we're going to have to completely redesign how we are going to connect this part of the surface base to another part. Because it's on Armstrong, it shouldn't be that hard, but still, it's something that we do have to test out, unfortunately. So we're going to get all of these on, and we're going to save this, and what we'll do is we'll just launch this and check and make sure this works. Man, ESA, Kanasa, do you have cryo engines? I'm fairly sure I do have cryo engines in this install, but I've not been using them, really. The engines that I've been using for the most part have been atomic engines because they give me ridiculous amounts of delta V and ridiculous amounts of thrust when I get the better nuclear engines, and I'm starting to get those. But I have been kind of using some Hydrolox engines here and there. I've got some Metalox engines, but to be honest, I've never really used those in these save, even though they're probably a little bit better than the standard stock engines. For all Kerbal Kind Season 2, wait, what's this? If you think you need to node attach the flexi tubes. Oh, okay. That might be... I'm fairly sure that that flexi tube is attached to a node, though. I'm pretty sure it is. I might be wrong, but I know obviously you need 2 separate flexi tubes for them to, like, you know, lock into each other. But I don't think, even just to grab it, I think you just need to have a Kerbal there, like, pull it across. So I'm going to check with an engineer, because I think that might be where I'm going. Whoa, this is not good when we launch it from here, but oh well. Right, so we'll extend this, and it only extends that one. We will get Kerman out on EVA. Let's go. Run around the surface base. Lovely, lovely, lovely stuff. Can we fit through here? Yes, we can. Lovely. Right, okay, so we can only disassemble the part. That's annoying. That is certainly annoying. Why can I not right-click that and connect it? Can I revert the flight from here? I can. Revert to spaceplane hangar. Right, I need to figure out what's going wrong here. It's been a while since I've used the tubes. See, I think I used the tubes once in the old Coming Home. Excuse me. And they worked then, but they also caused the base that I used them on, which was the base that I built on Lua, to spontaneously combust. So they might be a little bit buggy. They might be a little bit broken and balked, but we'll see. So yeah, this is definitely attached to a node. And I'm fairly sure that I've got it the right way, because this way, this side to ship, yes, there we go. That goes on the actual craft that we are trying to make. I think what we can do is, if we get that there, like so, and that looks like it's the right way. See, look, crew hatch is written that way. If I maybe get another one on here, like so, and let's just check it out with 2. This might work a little bit better, and then that way I can kind of connect the 2 together. And we'll see how that works, because that might mean things are a little bit better, right? So we'll save this, and we'll launch this again, and try and get this to work. So I need this to work before I go on to the next thing, because this is going to really determine what we do for the next thing. Kanasa, what about the ground anchor? The ground anchor, oh yes, I need to put one of those on as well. We need a way of anchoring this into the ground so that it doesn't go whee and fly off into outer space and blow up, and I cry repeatedly for days and days. Calvin McClure, hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, compatriot of sorts. Hey, I didn't say anything bad about you in the How to Install Realism Overhaul video. Just be thankful that you're not Katniss. Right, establish the Zambian space program and achieve their goals in a video game. What's this bot? Imagine he's Zambian for all Kerbal Kind. No, I am joining for all Kerbal Kind, probably within the next couple of months. But I am going to be the European Space Agency, or UKSA at the same time. Has my stream just died? I think my stream might have just died. Maybe. Oh no, it looks like it's back. Hopefully it's back. Weird. My streaming, YouTube is being all really weird and glitchy. Oh, there we go. It's all come back. Everything has come back. My internet do like to die on repeated occasions, so it does make me a little bit worried. Right, let's try this again. But no, for all Kerbal Kind, I will be joining that within the next couple of months. I'm going to be playing as the UK Space Agency to begin with, and the initial plan was once I got to orbit, I would form the ESA, but in testings that I have done with the agreed upon settings that I'll be using with, that me, Beardy, and N9 have gone over, I managed to get to orbit in 4 months. Was it 4 months or was it 8 months? It was 8 months. I've done a few practice runs just to kind of like figure out some of the settings that we'll be using. So that might be not very long to play the UKSA. So I think when I get round to doing it, I will kind of, just make it up as I go along. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, I'm not able to right-click these at all and grab any of the parts, which is not looking promising. It doesn't look like I can use the flexo tubes. I wonder, let's try it from space. Let's get Kerman up the stairs. We'll go back. We'll hyper edit this into space, because technically we're not on the mission timer yet. We're still landed. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this in space, and I'll see if I can. Come on, let's just put this up to 2 billion. No, not quite that much. Like, there we go. 20,000, that's not enough. 200,000, there we go. We'll set this to space, and I will have a look and see if we can do it from here, because now that the mission timer is running, it might kind of like change the way the mission works, and we'll have a look. We'll see if this does any better. Right, come on, let's grab you. Yeah, it just doesn't seem like we are capable of doing anything to this. That's going to be really, really irritating. It's going to be really, really, really irritating. What I can do is probably just put a docking port here and ram things together. But I didn't want to do that for this base. I wanted to have these flexible tubes. But unfortunately, the flexible tubes don't seem to be working. So we might have to go to an alternative plan to make this work. Right, anyway, we'll get you back in. Actually, I don't even think we need to, do we? We can just revert to the spaceplane hangar. Yes, we can. So, Canasa, ground anchor and engineer. Yes, we will grab a... Well, so when I say ground anchor, what I mean, I don't mean the ground anchors from 12, although that might be something that we can do. I do have in UKS. UKS does allow you to anchor things to the ground anyway with some of their own parts. So we might use that because I don't actually know how the ground anchor works. So if we type in ground anchor... Let's have a look. It's this thing here. This goes in an inventory, doesn't it? So how does that work? Because I've never actually used it. Do you place that on the ship somewhere and it will anchor it to the ground? Or do you have to place that on the ground and then connect that to the ship? Because... Right, so even the most seasons of rocket wants to be safely back on the ground. Okay, including docking ports, if you'd like to park a larger vessel safely. Oh, so I suppose we could put a docking port on it and then attach it with this. So what I like to do, and I have done in the past when I've used this mod pack, is if we grab a part, a landing gear that is used by the UKS suite of mods, such as, say, this landing stabilizer, which we can, you know, just put over there and like just keep it like that, and that doesn't look like the end of the world when we have that there. And I will never extend this. That will stay like that for all eternity. What we can do is, as soon as we've landed, we'll be able to right-click this, and it will have a ground anchor option, which will then anchor this entire base to the ground. So you place that on the ground and build on it. Okay, man, the switching between Katniss and Carnasso. Wait, what's going on? What's going on? Then build on it. So you place it on the ground, then build on it. Okay, so... The fact that I've built this surface base all up already means that, yeah, I think that way isn't going to be a very good way of doing this, unfortunately, but we'll still be able to anchor it to the ground. If I move these slightly further in, does that... No, that doesn't make it all janky. Yeah, so this will be able to tether me to the ground. Like, I'll show you. We'll see what it does when I do it. What Icon Unicorn said. Okay, cool. So, Kanasa, I know one of your priorities of this series is to make a base. What about Kerbal Constructs to launch from pads? Do you think that it's too cheaty? Kerbal Constructs, I'm not sure if I am going to use that to launch from other planets and all of that. Reason being is I want to do it all with extraplanetary launch pads, which gives you the option of doing that from other planets anyway, and I do have parts that are going to enable me to build launch sites on other planets and launch things from there, and it's going to be great. So eventually what we can do, rather than having... I was going to say, rather than having a ship that we have to send over to ferry fuel and supplies between the surface base on Armstrong to the space station, the surface base will be able to produce that spacecraft on site and then use it from the site and send it to and from. That's something that I do want to do. Extraplanetary launch pads does have that functionality built in, so I'm hoping that that will work. So yeah, like, look, we got this. We can see that it's all wibbly wobbly wobbling all over the place at the moment, but we've got a ground tether which we toggle, and now no matter what we do, even if we run like headfirst, all hatches are blocked. Yeah, even if we run headfirst into it, then we won't knock this over, which is very, very, very nice. There we go. Let's get this out. Like, yeah, this whole thing is now tethered to the ground, and it does mean that Kerman, like, you can't move it at all. Actually can't move it. It is static. It will not move. It's part of the environment. It's great. So that's probably, yeah, that's what I will do for this base, because it's just kind of like a nice way of doing that for this base. And I like how this looks, except for maybe the ginormous pod at the top. And just one last time, we've ground anchored it. Any more luck with the flexi tubes now that we've anchored it? No, still not getting anything up for them. Oh, that's a real shame. I don't know why that's not working. Maybe I'll go to the part in the VAB and see if it says anything on them, but we'll revert to the VAB or even the spaceplane hangar and have a look at that again. Cat NASA! Anyone have trouble with stock landing gear, bouncy, shaky, etc.? Thanks, KSP version 1.12.3. I mean, I've not used really anything stock-like for a while. Landing gear always do tend to be quite bouncy and wobbly, and you have to make things have like really wide bases in order to stop it from going like wee and tipping over and everything going completely rubbish. So yeah, landing gear have always been a bit buggy in KSP. I don't know if they've been made worse in the most recent update, but they've always been pretty bad if you ask me. Okay, right, so let's have a look at the flexible tubing. The FlexiTube, and see, what does it say? Expandable, right. Bendable, attachable tubes up to 50 meters long, requires KAS. Do I not have KAS on this? You know what? I don't actually think I have. I don't. Or do I? Hang on. Let me go in my game data. Do I not have Kerbal Attachment System on this install? Because if I don't, that's really silly. And I'm going to have to get that. The next millennia, where is it? Coming Home Redux. Let's have a quick look in here. Game data. You know what? I don't have KAS because I thought we're playing 1.12. It comes bundled with something that's essentially KAS. Right, I'm going to have to install that mod. And then that should hopefully fix my problem. Yes. Okay, yeah, the reason why I didn't get that is because obviously they added building and all of that in 1.12. So that's why I didn't get it. I will have to go away and download that mod and use that, but that's absolutely fine. That should fix it. We'll keep the flexi tubes on because they are going to be useful, and I will get the mod, and I will get the mod before I launch this for real. So there we go. That will be great. Right, let's just get rid of that now, and we will save this. And yeah, Armstrong Surface Base 1 is now all complete. Now the next thing is going to be starting work on Armstrong Surface Base 1 nuclear stuff. Yes. Or nuclear stuff. Yeah, no, this is going to be the main part of this base. Stuff. Right, stuff. There we go. Lovely, lovely, lovely stuff. And what we're going to do is we're going to come and we're going to work around, I think, the Atlas Harvester, because these are going to be the important bits. There we go. We're going to have one. We're going to have two of these, actually. But I might make them into separate components, and I might have these being landed in two separate sections. Kaiser, why so aggressive? About to kill his keyboard? Because keyboard... I hate it so much. It's mocking me with its ability to play Kerbal Space Program better than I can. No, I don't know. I'm just a little bit hyper today. Substandard what? Where was that? Substandard YouTuber. Ooh, ouch. Come on, that's a fail. What did I fail? Oh, the fail about the KS. Yes. Yes, that is a bit annoying. I will fix that though. We will get that all sorted. But now what we're going to do is we are going to create ourselves a way of mining uraninite. So we're going to go to Bay 1. We want to come to uraninite. There we go. Lovely, lovely stuff. And that will now mine that precious stuff for us. And what we want to do is have a place to store it. I'm not going to say it like that again. So we're going, no. Mining Uranus indeed. We're going to be, what will we find if we mine Uranus? First, I think we should probe it. And then, well, we should go on a deep exploratory mission. We might find something, very, very tasty indeed. Oh dear. Ugh. Anyway, moving swiftly on, we're going to grab one of these chonkers and put that on like so. And we will come along to this thing here, uraninite. There we go. That can hold 7,500, which is going to be more than enough. So we can have that on there, or we could potentially, well, we'll keep that separate for now. Let's go through a list of things that I need. I need power. So we're gonna get a power, except we probably won't want something quite that big. I think we might need one of these though, which, as we can see, is blooming expensive. That's going to put our price up quite dramatically, but we don't need to start with that much enriched uranium because we will be producing that in situ. We're going to want to come to nuclear because we are going to want to have one of these whirly-jigamy thingies. Where are they? Where are they? Whirly-jig nuclear reprocessor. So we want one of those. We want one of those. And we also want some of these, so we'll grab a couple of those, like that. And then we want our uraninite holder. And we also want some thermal thingamajiggies so that it doesn't all overheat and explode, like if we come to 90 degrees like that. And that's basically all of the components that we need in order to make this run, this section of the base run. And this is also going to provide the power, the main power source for the base as well. What we could do is have this mining thing here, and then maybe have, say, like a tower coming off, which is this nuclear processing section. Maybe we will do that, because that might look quite cool. And we could maybe even have the uraninite come in underneath it too. And then we have some sort of dedicated radiator section where we can get some radiators coming off to cool down our mining drill and all of that kind of stuff. And then we also get a flexi tube on the end, FLE. Flexi tube, which we put there, and then that will be able to connect this all up this side to ship. Yeah, there we go. Come on, let's turn it around. Crew hatch. There we go. And then we can use this and we can connect that off to the ship or the crew surface base that we have already developed. So yeah, how am I going to attach this to this? And I quite like the shape of that like that. I think that does look rather cool, but that's going to be a nightmare getting down. Because alternatively, I could just have it come out like this, and we get this. To be honest, how I had it to begin with, if we put some kind of legs on it, that doesn't look too bad. It kind of looks a little bit like a spaceship from Star Wars. Like, these are the kind of like wings. If we had like engines here, you'd have blasters coming out this way, and this is getting smoother and smaller and smoother until we got like a front cockpit, and then we got another massive engine on the back. I actually don't like it how it looks at that point, to be fair. It's very functional. It's got absolutely everything that it needs. It does need radiators, which I'm not sure how we're going to fit those on, but I will figure out a way. Only me lagging. Is there lag? Oh no, Kanasa OnlyFans confirmed. I've spoken about my OnlyFans several times on stream before. I don't actually have one. Don't go looking for an OnlyFans of OnlyFans/Kanasa because you will not like what you find. I don't, honestly, I wouldn't have one. I know some content creators do have them, and it's not for, you know, like that. They use them just as like Patreon. But everyone knows what OnlyFans really is for. Alasea has, no, maybe. Is this still on? Oh, well, I don't know if that's copyright music because that's just gone through the playlist and played something new. Hopefully YouTube doesn't give me a strike. Let's go back to a different playlist that has like 4,000 songs on it that should all be copyright-free music. Spotify, why do you do this to me? Why do you do this to me? Like, I get sweet F4 income from YouTube anyway. Why are you trying to like kill any income that I get by demonetizing my videos, you absolute rapscallion? I don't know. Okay, right, so I do need to figure out a way of fitting radiators on here, because at the moment, realistically, I would maybe like to have, maybe I could fit one on there like so, just one. We put that up like that. It's not the worst place in the world to put a radiator, I guess. Spotify annoying, yes it is. Alasea has paused. Realization settles in. Better not talk about Alasea's behind Alasea's back. She came in very briefly for a bit in this live stream, and then she decided to leave because obviously she doesn't like me anymore. She wants to. She doesn't come along to these streams because I don't know why she doesn't come. I think she's probably just like sleeping in the other room. That's all she ever does. She's just there, just like constantly like, I'm so tired, I got iron deficiency, let me sleep. I mean, that's really harsh, but yeah. Right, so if we get these kind of coming like along this way, then at least we will be able to have a kind of way of supporting this. Let's pull those over there, like so, and then we will get one more that comes off. Come on. Come off this way. I swear whenever I put this playlist on, it always plays this song to begin with. I've heard this song so many friggin' times. And we'll go for the leg extension of about 70. I think that should be enough to clear these and hopefully still be able to mine. 70, 70, and finally 70. There we go. And then we've got this kind of like mining structure, which also has our nuclear reactor. So we don't want to get any of our Kerbals anywhere near that. Kanasa, you meanie, Kanasa, you won't get a strike for playing copyrighted music on stream. The stream only blacks out for a short time. Oh, okay. Oh, that's cool. So hopefully I didn't say anything super interesting and really exciting in that point of the stream, because now it's just going to get permanently removed from YouTube, which would suck. Am I being really laggy? It looks like there's like a load of lag on my stream, or maybe that's just my internet doing a die on my second monitor, or on my Mac that's next to me. I can't tell. Is the internet doing fine on this? What does the stream say? Excellent connection, so I think we should be good. Okay, so that's okay. Right, so yes, this is all kind of where I want this to be. Now we've got to figure out, once again, how we're going to get this down, and this is going to be a little bit trickier. And another thing that we do also need to consider is a way of getting the enriched uranium from this section up into space. So what we could do is, once again, put another flexi tube on here, like so, and basically use these as kind of like fuel pumps. And we can connect our spacecraft to these, get these coming off, like land the spacecraft here, pull the enriched uranium from here, load up the spacecraft, and the spacecraft go. That might not be a bad way of doing it, actually. I'm going to abuse the flexi tubes. It's going to be a great, right, we'll turn those around so that they are the right way, and there we go. The only problem is they do look a bit janky compared to the rest of this craft. Kanasa, 9k subs when? 9k subs hopefully within the next month. I think I get, I don't know, my sub counter has been dying recently, and I think it's obviously because I had a big break because graphics card dead. But I've got a few video ideas that I'm going to release in February, hopefully, if I can get around to making them, that might be quite popular. So we'll see how they do. And hopefully I should hit 9k by the end of February, because then I can go, it's over 9,000! The mod? What mod? There's a mod list in the description of this video. There's a lot of mods if you want to check them all out. I have not done a mod pack because that is against the terms of service of KSP. I've not done a CCAN install because every time I did one of those, it ended up breaking people's games. Right, okay, so there we go. We're able to connect the fuel now to a spacecraft that does land. Now we do need to figure out how to make this land. Oh god, no, cancel, save. Right, and also I want to make sure that this all runs just fine off what we've got. Whirly jig, yep, we can do uranium and nuclear fuel drums. Yep, that's all cool, that's lovely. How on earth am I going to get this to land? How on earth am I going to get this to land? I honestly do not know. This is going to be a right friggin' pain in the arse, because look at that. The center of mass is there, and that's even... hang on, wait. Let's empty this, because this will be empty when we send it over, right? So the center of mass is now there. We will have maybe a little bit of enriched uranium in here, because that would be kind of nice to send it with enough so that we can get the system up and running. Because theoretically, what this should be able to do is keep our reactors working permanently. So this whirligig nuclear reprocessor is going to be creating enriched uranium from the uraninite that we get from this. We'll store that in there, then this will be turning that into enriched uranium, which will then store it in here. But it also means that this nuclear processor on the end is going to never run out of fuel, because we're basically harvesting that fuel from the surface of Armstrong. So this is kind of like a self-contained system that we can just leave and never ever have to worry about, and it will produce all the enriched uranium that we could ever want. And I do use a lot of it at the moment for nuclear reactors. I'm going to be using fission pellets. There's a lot of reasons why we want to get this stuff, and this is going to be the first of these that we kind of put together, and potentially later on in the series we will be making some grander, bigger designs. Look at that! Seriously, that thing flies off! Okay, but the question still remains, how on earth do I land this? How on earth do I land this? Because where the center of mass is at the moment, it's a little bit tricky due to the fact that the harvester is, yeah, it's kind of, we can't really place anything on top of that. Oh, hello. Obviously that's not connected to that part. What I could do is make another harvester, but I think these things are rather heavy. Like, look, that's 57 tons already. And that's with, like, nothing on there. This is going to be problematic, I can sure tell you that. We're going to put a probe core on here just so that it can continually run, and we might as well make that as big as that, and there we go. So, I wonder if it might be better to land this. Where's the root part? It's the harvester. To land this way. If we land this way, come on, let me go up. Then the center of mass, if we put a kind of landing engine, will be here. And then what we do is we kill most of our speed, and at the very final minute, we tip this over. Because I have done that before on Armstrong. Armstrong is really a very, very, very small moon, so the kind of velocities that we'll be going at won't really be that much, and it should be relatively easy to flip this over. It's going to look janky as hell, but trying to fit a sky crane on that section, I don't think I'm going to be able to make that work. I think in order to flip it over properly, we will put some of these all along here, and we will get a Kerbal to remove them when we get close. So if we get those there and there, yeah, that's fine. That should give us a little bit of control. We'll also put some on there, and this should hopefully give us enough control over this. That should be good. There we go. Lovely. So that's quite a bit of RCS on there. And now what we need to do is figure out how on earth we're going to land this thing. And that... do we get an attachment node on this? We do. Lovely. So we will be able to undock this. So if we get a docking port that kind of attaches... Oh, no. Can we only attach this with... Right, so it says there's a node there, but that node apparently does not exist. Is there anything that I can place on that node? I don't know. I don't know, Jeff. Is there? No, there's nothing that I can place on there. Okay, interesting. We're gonna have to probably remove that from there. It does theoretically... We still can connect this all up to the base, though. If I have one this side, then one this side. Yeah, we will be able to connect it up because we've got two exits, but we do also want another sort of style of this as well to mine ore and produce ore into liquid fuel and oxidizer too, so that's something else I'm going to have to consider. But we can get this connected to the base, we can get that connected to the ore miner, and then the ore miner can connect to any future spacecraft that land. So that will be fine. We'll have 3 components to this base which will work, but it does mean that we'll have to get rid of that, which is a little bit of a shame because I quite like that being there. But you know what, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Right, so 60 tons that we need to get down to the surface of Armstrong. This is going to be great. You cannot place something on a tube, okay? Yeah, no, I figured I found that out now. It's rather sad. I would have liked to have been able to do that, but game says no, unfortunately. Side rockets. I mean, we could put side rockets on. We could do side rockets, so we could have some coming off here, and we could have some coming off here. But think about this. If I put side rockets on there, where am I going to put the fuel that is going to fuel those rockets on the side? We could put tanks on the side, but I don't know. I mean, we could have a look. Like, but they need to be very, very, very large tanks. Like, and even then, we can't really have those on. So we could get maybe something like this kind of configuration, where we launch or land using these. So if I maybe get some... poodles or wolfhounds, vultures. I don't know what engine I want. I want to go by size as well, rather than, yeah, size. So if we go, that's a little bit too small. So a poodle is a little bit too big, I think. Come on. There we go. We do that. Then we do that. So that gives us 800 meters per second of delta V for this stage, which actually is more than enough to land us. That's actually not that bad. That's really not that bad. We might be able to do this, but I'm probably going to have decouplers on these that we will detach them with. Yeah, and we also need to figure out where to place them. Actually, yeah, side engines might work. Well, I was doubting it, but whoever said that, I can't remember who it was. Mars rover style. Well, we don't really have any parachutes, so we can't do that. Who said side engines, side rockets? Unicorn, thank you. Put fuel tanks on top of the rockets. Side decouplers that attach. Yeah, that's what I was going to do now. But yeah, thank you for the suggestion. This would be a lot better way of getting this down. My brain. I mean, I've been streaming now for 2.5 hours. Probably wasn't really at its best condition. These engines are lovely. Like, these engines give you ludicrous amounts of delta V and thrust. They are fabulous. They only use liquid fuel. Actually, let's have a look and see. If we were to just use liquid fuel, like so, on these, and then on these, what kind of delta V will we get out of this? Come on, I hate the spaceplane hangar. If you haven't heard me say it before, I hate the spaceplane hangar. These are from OPT, and OPT is a very, very, very tasty mod. Gives you some very, very cool stuff. So that's already getting us 2,158 meters per second. That is probably enough to send this just like this. Oh, they're so good. Do I want to use them? There's crazy amounts of delta V. That will get us a landing, and that will get us over to Armstrong all in one go. That's insane. That is actually insane. Barely using any fuel. What's the gimbal like on this? The gimbal, if I look at the engine, where are you? The thrust to weight ratio is also very, very, very good. I mean, gimbal range, 3 degrees. So it's not great. It's really not great. But if I get these in a position where that doesn't matter, then that doesn't matter. So we'll have a look. Let's get our decouplers on the side now anyway. If we maybe go for these. Problem is, I don't really want these decouplers to stay on the side, but I should be able to remove them with a Kerbal. And to be honest, those ones don't look too bad. And I think, if I am not incorrect, these will decouple with these boosters. So what we'll do is we'll get these back on and we'll place them like that. And I probably could figure out a better way of making these look. Like, at the moment, they do look rather janky. Maybe, is there a kind of like 1.75 or 1.85 meter? I can't remember how big these tanks are. To square kind of adapter, maybe? I'm not sure. Use it. That's too OP. That is ridiculous, isn't it? Like, we go from having very, very, very little to 2023. It's insane. What are these engines? Nuclear? Yes, I believe they are. OPT. I think I unlocked them in advanced nuclear propulsion. So maybe I'm loving how like why Mandarin is like, that's too AP, and then Max Sachs is just like, use it. I think we'll consider it. Let's try and get this all built up to a position where we can land it anyway. Right, so this needs to be further along this way. So actually what we can do is put that there, and then we can bring this across this way. Place that there like so. And then bring these that way, and then we get rid of most of our torque. Can we completely get rid of it? 0.5 kilonewtons. There we go. That's okay, but that does look a little bit janky. That does look rather janky indeed, and we are attaching this to a very, very, very big nuclear reactor. What we might be able to do even is pull these away like this, bring that there. So it's kind of attached to the harvester. Bring that so that it is exactly there. Bring that down like so, like there. And then bring these back further across so that we're not directly attached to the nuclear reactor. And there we go. If we go about there, we get 1.3 kilonewtons. And that's not the end of the world. Did stream refresh? Anyone? Might be my Wi-Fi. Yeah, the stream should still be going. I hopefully my internet isn't dying, because my internet does tend to commit die every now and then. I don't know why. It's probably because I live in some rubbish little village in the middle of England. So yes, we don't get the best of internet here, even though I pay a lot of money for it. It's really not that great. Damn, living in a small English countryside town. Right, okay, so what I'm going to do is we are going to put some of these on the top as well, and then there we go. We'll definitely have enough fuel to do this. Have they just got liquid fuel in though? No, they've got liquid fuel and oxidizer. Let's just make them liquid fuel and see roughly how much delta V we get with that. 2,438 meters per second. Well, having the engine that gave us only 2,100 before, that was more than enough. We've got our nuclear reactor on this, which will run just fine. We've got our radiator that hopefully should be cooling us. I am going to disable sun tracking because I like it just pointing that way and it won't clip with that. Then we've got these. Yeah, I think there might be, if I go into OPT... Right, is there a way that I can get these to these? Because it would be nice to have some sort of structural component. No, we don't want those. I think there's a whole section for OPT space planes. Let's have a look. No, that's just an air brake. Monopropellant tanks. No, I don't want those. I do want monopropellant on this now, actually. Oh, tilt engines. Oh wow, they're pretty cool. Damn, they look nice. I need to play around with the OPT parts and have a look and see what I want to do with these, because there are a lot of parts that I should really be using. You're all cool. It's perfectly fine for me. Cool, sweet. Nuclear reactor, yeah. This is a lovely big nuclear reactor on the end, and this is our nuclear processing facility where we will make the fuel to power this reactor. It's going to be great. It doesn't look like there's really any way of me putting these on. Obviously these OPT parts might have better sections for them, but as it stands, yeah, I can't really, like, let's have a look at that. Look, no, they're still all circular. Is there not a square adapter? Got a rudder. Ooh, is that a way of making boats? Did I hear boat? I definitely want to make a boat that goes to Gateway at some point in this series, because that just sounds really, really cool. Time to cause definitely Chernobyl on the moon. I love how it's gone from definitely not to definitely Chernobyl. Right, okay. So it doesn't look like I can do that. It doesn't look like I can have any sort of structure that makes those better, which is a shame. So, now, unfortunately, these are no longer going to work because these require liquid fuel and oxidizers. So unless I put a little bit of oxidizer on these, then we're not going to be able to use them. But that is probably something that we can do. So if we maybe grab some of that there and have these have LFO. Yep, there we go. I wonder how quickly this will burn through this. This is what we're going to test. We'll plonk that there like that, and then we'll plonk that there like that, and we'll move those in so that they are directly attached. Then what we can do is we can grab these. Come on. Grab those. Place those on like so. Make them black because it would be very stylish if they were black. There we go. And we'll do the exact same there. And hopefully that should have copied across the other side. Yes, it did. I think there is one in there that I want to remove. And there should be one there. And there should also be one there, I think, that I can just see. It's tucked away there. There we go. We've got that too. So hopefully that might be enough to control our craft. But we will have to see. So we've got a probe on this so we can control it. The biggest problem now is I'm going to have... Look, so the control point is a probe that is tucked away. I can't even remember where I put it. In there. That's our only control point. That is obviously facing the wrong way. So we are going to need to have either a docking port or a probe on the bottom of this, and I think I'll go for a docking port, a little junior one that we will place. We'll place there, and then what we can do is we can control from there, or it would probably be better to place this on the top, and then that way we won't get confused with all of our angles. Yeah, no, placing this at the top is going to be a much smarter idea, right? So if we just get one of those, and then we move that in there, and then we can have this little, you know, radiator coming out from the docking port, that should be okay. Right, so we can save this, and I think that is good to go. That's good to go. And I think at a later date, we might even create more enriched uranium storage around this. And I think, yeah, what we're going to do is we are going to test this out by launching it and then, yeah, hyper-editing it to space, and we'll fly it over to Armstrong again. We'll do all of that again, and we'll see how this goes, which is awesome. So we'll launch this. Cool. I'm going to go away a second, grab another drink, but I'll do that whilst the game's loading, so I should be back momentarily. See you very, very shortly. That was the wrong screen. Hello, I'm back, and yes, I've got myself yet another can of silver Diet Coke, because being diabetic, drinking the red stuff, I prefer it and I prefer the taste, but unfortunately it sends my blood sugars all like woo up in the sky, so I can't drink that constantly, which is a bit of a shame because I do massively prefer the taste. Tastes a lot better, but unfortunately, no, I have to drink these normally, otherwise my body decides to hate me. Yes, I have a serious Coke addiction. Someone's probably going to take that out of context and post that on Discord or something. If you don't know about the Discord, I do have a Discord for my channel. It's a great place. Loads of help, loads of people. Link in the description, I think. Definitely go check it out. And I think all of my mods have been telling me to promote it a bit more recently, so I probably should. Right, cool. So this is slowly sliding across the runway by the looks of things. Look at that speeds, massive speeds. We're moving so incredibly quickly, but what we're going to do is we are going to get this into orbit, because once again this will be created from the totally reliable assembly platform. So this will theoretically start out in orbit anyway at 750,000 meters above Kerbin, because that is roughly where Trap is located. So what we can do is we can once again see if we can get this over to Armstrong, and because I was having all sorts of issues trying to get to there before, what I am going to do is I'm going to do what I did, and we will change our inclination so that everything is good. So add a maneuver, let's get rid of all of the other craft so that we're only looking at ourselves. There we go, brilliant. Let's do this. It's going the wrong way. Quick maneuver to there or thereabouts. I think if we check that, that's minus 0.1, 0.1. Let's get that to roughly 0. There we go. So that should be our inclination all sorted out. Now we're going to turn on RCS and we're going to turn this around. That is very, very slow. And how much oxidizer do we actually burn through getting that? Ooh, a lot. Okay, we might need some more oxidizer, or we might have to rely on monopropellant engines for this. And I've just realized we're probably controlling this from the wrong place. So we want to select control from here. Oops, yep, we are. Dang nabbit. Kanasa, yeah, it would not be conducive to proper health indeed. Can't drink the red Coke. No, I can't. Well, I do, but it's sort of like medicine to me. It's what I drink when my blood sugars go low, and it's the way that I bring my blood sugars up, and it's what I've done ever since I was 2 years old. I probably drank something different or had something different when I was 2, because giving Coke, like full fat Coke, to a 2-year-old, I'm sure that's highly frowned upon in many communities. Right, we're going to go round now and we're going to start this burn, and we're not going to completely overburn it like I did before. So let's do this nice and slowly this time. Right, 2 minutes, 1 minute, 15 seconds. We're going to activate the engines and we are going to fire these up. These look really cool. So Jade of Mar, who was in the chat earlier on, is the author for the OPT mod. They look really cool when you fire them up. I have actually used these in the episode that will not be probably coming out tomorrow, but next week. Like, I mean, look at them. Look at them. They're so cool. Look how pretty those are. They're amazing. Absolutely beautiful. Very good work on those engines. They look phenomenal. Anyway, we are now going to kill those, and we're going to slowly get this down. If we kill our throttle there, and what we'll do is we'll get our rendezvous planner up so I can see just how much our inclination is. 0.03. 0.03. Is that about as close as we're going to get? 0.04, yeah. I suppose that's a low enough inclination that we don't have to worry about. Kanas's dad be like, oh no, his blood sugar is low. Give him our trusted Coke. Yeah, I don't know what my parents gave me when I was that young. I probably like glucogel. Like, it's disgusting. I absolutely hate it now. It makes me feel really ill whenever I use it, so I try not to use it because it really isn't very pleasant. Right, there we go. We need to come about there. There we go. Lovely stuff. We've got an encounter with Armstrong already. We're going to do... I suppose I could probably grab my maneuver node. You'd like to think that. You'd like to... Goddamn maneuver nodes being really janky today for whatever reason. Right, we're going to do this until we get a nice encounter with Armstrong, like so. We'll move this back a little bit. A perhaps of 14,000 meters is a little bit too low. 25,000 meters seems like it will be a good location to do this from. Right, what is our liquid fuel oxidizer? What is our oxidizer looking like? Ooh, we've used a lot of it. That is a little bit concerning. Our burn is going to be in 20 minutes, so let's time warp ahead a little bit until we get to our burn. Let's just do this kind of speed, so we're not going to shoot past it. And there we go. We'll start turning for our node now. So Canassa, once again, arrow. What about the arrow? Oh, do you mean like this stuff down here? Is it this? And if you go into the map, you can kind of do stuff, or is there something else that I'm completely missing? Because if we toggle map, I think there is a way that you can change your maneuver, like all of this. I don't usually use that because it's something that I've not used for a while. But arrow, I'm not sure what you mean by the arrow with maneuver nodes. So is like a boomer doesn't want to learn new features? Basically, yes, I am a boomer when it comes to KSP. I've had this game since 2013, I think was when I got it. I got it when it first basically dropped on Steam. Right, there we go. We're gonna burn our engines. We are trying to push this down quite forcefully from this side, which is not looking good. If we get rid of the maneuver node, yeah, look, our pitch is... We are struggling with this. If I turn my RCS off, are we able... No. We are not able to maintain our pitch without the RCS, which is bad because, as we can see, we are burning through this at a complete rate of knots. So I think I'll slow this down, and we might be able to maintain our pitch with these. No, we can't. We need the RCS. We absolutely need the RCS in order to do this. Right, okay. Oh, no, the RCS seems fine now. So, to burn at this kind of speed, it's going to make the burn take a lot longer. But, yeah, that's the problem when designing asymmetric kind of craft. And we're only able to get very, very little throttle out of this. So maybe we will have to kind of maybe change where these are in relation to the center of mass of the craft. Because at the moment, yeah, it's looking a little bit janky. Or maybe what we do is we add some better monopropellant thrusters or something like that in order to try and do this. Because at the moment, this is being very slow. We might be able to throttle it up a little bit. But I'm just a little bit concerned that once we run out of oxidizer, we're going to tip over. Canassa, reduce thrust on the one engine. So this one, we're trying to push this way. So which engine do we want to reduce thrust on? These? Does it reduce thrust on this engine as well? No, it doesn't. That's looking a little bit better. Right, okay. Which ones have I thrust limited? These ones. Could we get that down to like 98? And that down to like 98 as well. No, now we're getting the same problem as we were before. Right. Okay. Well, our RCS is looking good for now. We're not really having too much trouble with this, but we are going to run out of oxidizer very, very, very shortly, which is going to be a problem. There we go. We're out of oxidizer. Oh. Okay, interesting. We're out of oxidizer, yet this still works. Very curious. Why does that still work? Do I have more oxidizer on the craft that I don't know about? I do. I have, like, a load more. Oh, there's more over on that side. Right, kill. There we go. Kill rotation. Let's turn off our RCS and see where that's got us. Ooh, nice. That's a pretty good encounter. We'll go for there. and we will turn off RCS and we'll fly to Armstrong. How heavy is the payload? This is, I think, about 60 tons all in. It's quite a chunky payload. Basically, yeah, it's all the mining equipment is really heavy. We've not even got enriched uranium or anything like that on here at the moment. And speaking of, we are going to need to turn on our nuclear reactor because otherwise we're going to run out of power on the way over. But we won't set it to full power. We'll do something like this and then we will start making our way over. That's very heavy. I don't know what heavy is in terms of stock. I forgot. This is quite a chunky boy, especially considering the kind of like delta V requirements to get anywhere in this are way more than stock anyway, so it takes me about 6,000 meters per second of delta V to get to orbit. The burn to get over to this moon is about 1,200 or thereabouts. I think I spent about 1,300 with the inclination change correction. So yes, it's quite a heavy boy, but we do have the technology, we do have the power to be able to send it over. Right, okay, we're getting close now, so we are going to slow down, I think, about here. And what we will do is we will turn ourselves retrograde and begin the long and slow process of slowing us down. I think maybe we will use RCS for this and hopefully not run out of oxidizer before we get there. Yeah, we've still got all of the oxidizer on this side of the craft, which is great. Okay, all right, so let's go retro and let's start up our engines, and we are pitching up dramatically. There we go. We can get more pitch. Come on. There we go. More throttle. Let's throttle this up. Throttle it up even more. We can go for more. Oh no. We're losing control. Our yaw is now being affected. Okay, right. That's bad. Okay, I wasn't paying attention to the yaw. Right. So let's twist this around and slowly get ourselves over in that direction. Okay. I don't know which engines, which way are we rolling to? Which engines do I need less throttle on? Burn it at full capacity for a little bit. Which way are we going? We're going that way. Right, we're flipping this way. So these engines are pushing us over, so we need to lower the thrust on these. So let's go for, say, like 96 and 94 on that, and let's try this again. I wish these were connected, but apparently they are not. Right, okay. That's now we're going the complete other direction. Right, okay. Oh god. This is not good. This looks like Minmus 2. It basically is. It's a very small rock of a planet. It's tiny. It's really small. It's the second moon in the road system after Lua. Lua is basically an atmospheric moon from stock KSP, and then we've got Ash all the way out in the distance, which is a lava-y volcanic moon, which looks very cool. Look, see, we got lava everywhere. Lovely lava. Come on, let's get back retro, please, so we can finish our burn. Right. Come on. Yeah, the gimbal on these isn't great, so they're not really maintaining. If we put the thrust up on these a bit, and then hopefully that should spin us round in the right direction. Yes, that is. Now let's lower the throttle, and let's slow that down. Right, okay, and let's put these back up, because we're now going in the wrong direction again. This is a fine balancing act to find out where we actually want these. Let's put these up again. God, I think I probably need to figure out, yeah, this is going to be impossible to land, because yeah, we need to, right, okay, there we go. Controlling this purely by sliding the thrust limiter. Right, okay, we're going in that direction. Right, no, quick, fire, full throttle. Right, so we're twisting around this way. So in my head, we're twisting around this way. These ones are too powerful. This is not great. Okay, well, I think what I'm going to do is we're burning through all of our fuel. I think we've almost made orbit around Armstrong, but what we can do is we can revert this to the spaceplane hangar and see if I can try and fit these maybe a little bit better. That means we're not going to spin around like this. Canassa could go with OPT, Egg Dogs with ISP up. I've not seen those. I'll have a look. They're hybrid electric SSME. Ooh, I'll have a look. I will. Throttle controlled avionics is looking really good right now. Yes, I think in order to make that viable, changing all of those sliders, it would definitely be good to have some sort of control system. But unfortunately, I don't have any mods like that, right? So yeah, we get very, very, very little in the way of actual torque on this, but obviously it's enough. So if we change that to both. So we can get that down to 0.019. That's way better. But what happens if we empty all of our liquid fuel? Because if we empty all of our liquid fuel, that's going to be where the problem comes from. That's good. These work much better here. Right, much better. If we fire these up from this direction, that will work a lot better. Why are we getting... Did I forget to put liquid fuel in these? No. Ah, there we go. If we move those back, 0.019. Yeah, that's much better. However, I still think that I want maybe slightly more liquid fuel and oxidizer on this to control those thrusters here, and I'm going to put some more on, just to be secure, because it would be nice to not have this flip out of control all over the place. So we go for one there like that, and then we go for one there like that. And we do exactly the same. And then what we're going to do is we're going to try and put a big multi-purpose fuel tank on here somewhere that has a lot of liquid fuel and oxidizer. And we'll place that somewhere like where it's going to make minimal impact. So if we put that here, or if we put that on the sides here, this actually is going to make it really nice for us. Look at that. That's giving us basically no torque whatsoever now, if we get that there. We'll place that there like so, and that should hopefully negate all of the torque. Which might be alright, might be a good way of doing this. What's our delta V like? 2,419, which is fine. We don't actually get that much liquid fuel and oxidizer in this though, so what I might do is scale it up. And now we lose torque again. Come on, let's move this somewhere where it's going to play nice with this entire system, 0.011. There we go, that'll do. And obviously, before we set this drill up, what we will do is we will get a Kerbal to come along and remove all of these, and it should all be good. So, you had SAS off. I did have SAS off, but what I was using was Smart SAS Kill Rotation, which is way better than stock SAS. It means that you don't get all of the wibbly wobbly stuff that stock SAS does incur on your craft when you're trying to do stuff. It's pretty good. I see the rocket pods aren't on the same stage. That makes for asymmetric fuel drain. Oh, okay. Right. Yeah, no, these are all... This is one stage and this is one stage. Hopefully... Ah, hang on. Wait, yeah, if I get that like that, that might be a little bit better. We'll try this anyway. We'll try this and we'll see how this goes. Because I think, yeah, now that we've got our torque down to minuscule amounts, that should hopefully help us out. Can we get it even small, like 0.055, 0.1... 0.053. That's not changing anything. There we go. We'll try this now. This should be a little bit better. And we've got a lot more liquid fuel and oxidizer on this, and this should work out quite nicely. We've got like 2,300 meters per second of delta V, which will be more than enough. We're going to auto-strut all of this actually, because I forgot to do that so far. So if we auto-strut everything like so, auto-strut disabled, auto-strut disabled, heaviest part, save that up, and what we'll do is we'll launch this and see how this goes, and I'll see what people have been saying in chat. 07, okay, hello. I see. So important. What's important? This looks kind of sus. How does this look kind of sus? What's wrong with this thing? It's going to be a great machine that's going to provide all of the nuclear power that we're ever going to want. It's going to be great. Jade of Mar is smart. Jade of Mar is smart. He does a very, very, very cool mod. Very, very cool mod. OPT, which is the mod that I'm using the engines for. So having the guy that made the engines that I'm using at the moment in the chat is pretty nice, I do have to say. It's great. Right, so we're going to try this again, and hopefully this time everything is going to go according to plan. It would be great. How does it transfer power to the main base? So those little connecty tubes, yeah, they've got power lines in them. Basically, when the craft is all connected, it will be like one entire solid craft, or at least I think so, so it will share power. So we're just going to pretend that there's power lines running across there, or potentially we could imagine that our Kerbals have drilled underground and run some cabling underground, or something like that, and it should all be good. This side is obviously heavier, which is a bit of a shame, and there's something else I forgot. I forgot to put one of those little ground anchors on here again. That's a bit annoying, but it's not the end of the world. Okay, right, so with this, once again, we are going to emulate this being launched from the totally reliable orbital assembly platform. So that's 750,000. We'll apply. And now, hopefully, we should be able to see. Let's just make sure that we can do everything all over again. So we're going to set Armstrong as the target. We're going to get rid of every single other craft that we do not need to see. We're going to come over to here, get our maneuver. Oh God, the maneuver node is going a little bit janky. There we go. We'll get that to about there. Descending node is minus 0.1. Let's get that so that it is 0. 0.0. Lovely, lovely, lovely stuff. With that all being done, what we can do is we can turn to the node and we can get ready to fire this up. And we're just gonna use the what is it? The reaction wheel in the probe core just to turn this round for now. And I once again have forgotten to set this as being the control point. So we'll control from there, and that should hopefully mean that we're going to face the right direction. And one last thing that I wanted to do was to make sure that the reactor is on and working and starting to produce power. So we'll set that setting to about there, because to be honest, we don't really need 300 electric charge per second at the moment. It's not that great. Do you love like your Kerbals? I do love like my Kerbals. I try not to kill them to the best of my ability. Some people may strongly disagree with that fact, because there have definitely been times where I have killed a rather large amount of Kerbals in a single solitary mission. But I try not to do that as much as I can, but it's something that does happen every now and then. I've not actually killed any Kerbals in this series yet, which is pretty nice. It's something that I'm going to try and keep up to with the best of my ability. So vom red, is that sounds like vomit red. What is it? Is it vomitable? Red? What's red? I'm not red. I'm green. There's a green screen behind me. Right, so we're gonna time warp ahead until we are at the point where we want to start burning, because we don't really want to wait 30 minutes. I think if I waited 30 minutes, that would basically be the end of this stream. So we're going to wait 2 minutes, 1 minute, because I do also need to get away at the end of the stream and start, well, finalise the editing that I've got for the episode that I want to put out tomorrow. There'll be another coming home episode that we should be seeing. And hopefully it goes all right. It won't be like the episode that I released yesterday, because obviously that takes a long time to burn the engines. And there we go. We're barely using our RCS at all to control this. In fact, I can turn them off, and that is much, much, much nicer. So if we get rendezvous info, where is it? I'm gonna rendezvous info and kill. We're 0.04, 3, 2. That'll be close enough. That's absolutely fine. So we can see that, yeah, our inclination is pretty damn nice to Armstrong. So now what we're going to do is we are, of course, going to make a maneuver over to Armstrong, because that's where we want to be going. Okay, so if we come about there, and then we'll move this around. There we go, we get an encounter. Lovely, lovely, lovely stuff. I think if we make that a little bit more, and we'll once again use maneuver node editor to try and get this as close as possible. Okay, right, let's change that up to 1. There we go. Nice and close. Nice and close. I think I want a bit closer than 64,000 meters. 27,000 meters. That's going to cost about 1,200 meters per second, which will leave us on about 1,000. It'll take us, yeah, this should be okay. We should have the fuel required to land on Armstrong, but obviously seeing whether this thing flips out of control on the way is the key part. So we'll wait for 30 seconds. What we're going to do is we're going to turn to the node. I think we will turn the RCS on for this to make it a little bit quicker. How quickly are we burning through our oxidizer? Nowhere near as quick as we were before. Fabulous. Kanasa is now a Kerbal himself. Yeah, I've not actually ever made a Kerbal for me in any of my series, because every time, before I started my YouTube channel, every time that I named a Kerbal after myself, they ended up dying super duper quickly. Like, in really stupid ways as well, usually due to test light. So we'll burn this now. So I've never really put myself in one of my series due to the fact that I'm cursed. My name is cursed. As soon as that Kerbal gets on a spacecraft, well, that spacecraft is going to be like, it's damned. There's no way around it, yay? We should have a moment of silence for those poor Kerbals. There were quite a few deaths in the last Coming Home series. I think there was one mission where I killed 6 Kerbals in a single mishap when a craft tried to land. And yes, it tore itself apart upon landing because it came down a little bit too hard. I can't remember what happened, and I did try going back and looking to that episode, but I couldn't find out what episode it was. If anyone happens to know, then do let me know, because I want to see what actually happened. Killing them is the best part, though. I mean, I like to keep my Kerbals safe, okay? I'm a conscious person. I fear for the safety of my Kerbals, and to be honest, this is a science save, so it's not like it costs me any money to replace them, but when you're playing career, it does cost money, and when you're playing like RP1, if you're constantly killing Kerbals and you have to recruit new Kerbals, then that's just bad. Like, you're throwing away 50,000 funds at a time. I think it's 50,000 funds to recruit a new Kerbal in RP1, which isn't great. Could you do more videos like the Next Millennium number 12? Because I watched it like 5 times. Next Millennium 12... Is that the one where I sent Kerbals down to Mars? The very cinematic style one, cinematic documentary style video almost, because I can do more videos like that, but they take a long time to make. That video ended up taking me about 100 hours to make. And I am a university student, so I've got basically, I work full-time for university, and I get some time at the weekends to do stuff, but actually doing all the stuff on my channel takes a really long time as well. Like the video that I released yesterday, it's only 4 minutes long. That took me kind of what, like 14 hours to do, maybe even more. So getting a video out, like, you only watch 4 minutes of it, but behind the scenes, when I create them, they take a blooming long time. And yeah, the last Next Millennium video that I did end up taking about 100 hours to put all together. All the filming, all the editing, voiceover, all the effects, everything. It does take a very, very, very long time to do those kind of things. Right, anyway, we are on our way to Armstrong. We still have 963 meters per second of delta V left, which I think does mean we have more than enough to capture ourselves into a nice low orbit. If we do something like this, there we go. Like so. Ah, no, don't do, no, we don't want to change our damn inclination. We want to move our maneuver. What is going on? Right, periapts, 26,000, 30,000, that's absolutely fine. What we can do is we can warp here and get this to do it for us. And just like that, in the blink of an eye, we are ready to start our burn. We're going to turn retro and we are going to slow down at Armstrong, and this is looking very promising because this is only going to... Whoa! That's 525 meters per second to slow us down. Damn! That's quite a lot. We might need more fuel in this thing. That's more than I was anticipating. Definitely more than I was anticipating. Because that's not going to leave us with very much delta V after this burn. But here we go. Bam! And blast the engines. And we are going to make our way into a nice Armstrong orbit, hopefully. Shouldn't take much to land on Armstrong. Only about 200, 250 meters per second of delta V. So as long as we've got that, we should be fine. And I think we should have that at the end of this. Judging by how much this burn is going to take, it all depends on whether we kind of like start pitching out of control. That's the worst thing that could happen, and that's really what we are testing for with this design. But I think we should be good. There is one thing that I have forgotten on this as well. I have forgotten a ground anchory kind of thing, so I will place one of those on when we get to the vehicle assembly building next. Right, we're going to kill rotation now, and we are going to kill throttle. 3 meters per second left. Bring down, oh, there we go, that's absolutely fine. 30,000 by 24,000, cool. Good stuff. Right, where is a nice section of highlands that we want to land in? Because the highlands are where the uraninite is located. This looks like it might all be highlands over here. So I think, did I remember to turn the nuclear reactor on? Please say I remember to turn the nuclear reactor on. Yes, yeah, we're gaining power. This section here looks like it's all highlands. So we'll have a look when we fly past this again. Gradual slopes, where are we? We're there. What's this? Gradual slopes, gorges. Come on, come on, I want lots of lovely, lovely, lovely highlands. Right, this is all highlands around here. But we are the other side of road, which is a little bit annoying, but it's not the end of the world. So I think, yeah, what we'll do is we will start our burn about here. We'll point ourselves retro and we'll begin the descent onto the surface of Armstrong. We once again mine Uranus. Exactly. Vom today. Like, what does that even mean? I don't know. Whoa, this is epic. Hello, Lucarg. Welcome to the stream. And welcome, Needle, as well. This is epic. Is this epic? I mean, the engines, the burns from these engines looks absolutely fabulous. They look so incredibly good. Right, we're going to begin our descent now. We've got 400 meters per second, which should be more than enough. Our landing is currently in the highlands. We might have a bit of a dark landing, which is unfortunate, because it would be nice to see what we're doing. We've got an hour and 10 minutes, apparently. Impact time, an hour and 9 minutes. Are we really that far away? I don't want to time warp too fast, because I don't want to end up smashing into the surface of Armstrong. Right, okay. Yeah, 59 minutes. I think that's not correct. I really don't think that's correct. That does not look like it's going to take 59 minutes to get to. I am concerned. I am very, very, very concerned for the safety of this vessel at the moment, but we should be okay. Right, okay. We've got 408 meters per second of delta V left. This is the highlands that we do want to land in. I think that looks relatively flat there, or thereabouts. So I think what I am going to do is once we get over this lip here, I'm just going to burn full throttle, because I think we will kill this in no time at all. So actually, you know what? Let's just kill rotation and burn now. And we'll land in the safety of this little section here. Hopefully, that should be fine. Right, come on. Let's get this nice and slowly. Landing like this is the part of the videos or the part of the streams where I always don't talk as much because, obviously, landing is scary. Landing is where things tend to go wrong. Okay, all right, surface velocity. We'll bring that to there, and we will start coming down. Cool. In 56 seconds, we should hopefully be roughly landed on the surface of Armstrong. I did not like the fact that that paused there for a minute, but this looks like a very nice part of Armstrong to actually bring ourselves down on. So 3 seconds of burn. We're going 35 meters per second. Let's start burning this so that we slow ourselves down. 6 seconds impact. 10 meters per second. This is looking very, very good. Right, we'll kill the engines now because we can't gimbal fast enough for that turn. And we will slowly bring ourselves down upon the surface of Armstrong. 3.5, 3, 2. We're coming down at a steady 2 meters per second. This looks like it is on top of a hill, which is kind of nice. Hang on, can we kill our... I kind of want to go... I kind of want to land, like... No, not that way. Not that way. Oh, that way? No. Kind of want to go this way a little bit. This way. This way a little bit, please. Yeah, there we go. That's where we want to go. Just moving ever so slightly. To be honest, yeah, I think where we're coming down now is kind of like the flattest point of this. It's going to take a while, but we'll get there. Manned impactor, you want to smash Kerbals into the moon? Who wants to smash Kerbals into the moon? I've not done that for a very long time, but obviously when I get to it in For All Kerbal Kinds, crewed lunar impactor, that's something that we definitely will be doing with the ESA or the UKSA. Obviously, I know there's not really a contract for that, but that has been a joke for quite some time, right? Why can't we move this? 1.8 meters per second. Let's slow this down, kill the throttle, and just bring it down nice and slowly at 0.5 meters per second. There we go, we're moving, and there we go. There we have it. We've landed successfully on the highlands of Armstrong. And these worked out exactly how we had intended, with 143 meters per second of fuel left. That's great. That's absolutely fabulous. That means we didn't even need that much fuel. We've got 140 meters per second left. We're fine. We are very good. We're in a very good position. Right, so what we want to do now is turn this on. So we want to deploy this. And if we start uraninite drill, there we go. We are working. Thermal efficiency, 12%. Are we kind of overburning this? What's going on? Are we getting uraninite? Yes, we are. We are drilling for it, which is great. Maybe we need to power this up a little bit. So we're producing 800 electric charge per second. We're starting to get uraninite. I think with the Whirly Jigamajig processor, if we start uranium refiner, this now should, yeah, we're only getting like 0.3% load. That's because we don't have any crew on here. In order to make that run a lot faster, we do need a crew of engineers, which will make things go a lot better. We have a touchdown. The engines are still on. Are they? Are they? I don't think they are. We can shut down the engines. Do these use electric charge? I don't think these ones do they? But we can shut them down and make sure that they're not going to drain anything. Shut down, there we go. Cool, so yeah, we're starting to produce uraninite. We are producing more than we are using in this processor because yeah, like we're producing enriched uranium at a ridiculously slow speed. We are still producing more than we're using, which is great, but as soon as we attach a crew to this, then we will be making much more, to the point where this can produce, I think, 8 enriched uranium a day. And this is obviously, well, we use, yeah, this uraninite drill will be fine. But we also do need to create another one of these that we will connect up to this. That will take, what will it take? It will take liquid fuel and oxidizer and then process, no, it will take ore and process that into liquid fuel and oxidizer, and then that way we'll have a permanent way of being able to send stuff down to this, fuel up at this, take the enriched uranium from here and then send it up to the thing that I showcased at the beginning of this stream, which is, I can't remember what it was, but it was the space station that we will have around that will produce fission pellets from enriched uranium, and that will then fuel our new series of interplanetary spacecraft that use the Far Future Tech mod, and it's going to be lovely. So I think, yeah, we can just like literally yeet these away. Bye-bye. Nice. And then what we'll do is we'll get a Kerbal that will take these apart. It'll take off everything that's not needed. And yeah, this will be a permanent structure on the surface of Armstrong. Looking very, very, very good. And everything does seem to be running as it should be. Oh, God. Oh, it just rolled down the hill and exploded. That's fine. Okay, so yeah, we're getting loads of uraninite. We're not really making any enriched uranium at the moment because it is so slow to produce, but we will be making it. Like, I think if we time warp to say, look, there we go. We've got a full container of uraninite. There we go. 0.03 going at 10,000 speed. So we are producing it, but it is just incredibly slow. See? Which is great. We'll get the crew on, everything should be really good. That one pod that really yeeted. Yeah, that one had like an allergy to this kind of vessel that we've landed. It was just like, nope, boys, I'm friggin' out of here. Absolutely not. I've done my job and I am gone. But yeah, this works. This should work, and we'll be able to connect it up to the base that we produced earlier. Cool. So what I can do now is we can go back to the spaceplane hangar. I'm going to add on that landing leg because that is going to allow us to clamp this down onto the surface and everything will be good. What do I think about the situation in Ukraine and Russia? Cool, that's getting very political for my channel. I don't really follow things like that much. I can't really give an informed decision because I don't really know what's going on too much. I know Russia they've kind of moved troops close to the border, but apart from that I don't really know. I tend only to read the news once a week these days because last year I got really bad kind of period of depression because I was reading the news every day. Everything was just terrible. Things were going really badly. I was ill a lot and it just got really bad. So I tend to limit myself to reading stories once a week, and political stories I kind of try and avoid now because it just really gets me down. It's not great, but I don't know. I don't really have a valid opinion on it. It's a little bit too political for my channel. I'm not really a political kind of minded person. Anyway. Cool, so we've got this. What we're going to do is we are going to grab one of those wide landing legs or one of these landing stabilizers, and we can just plonk that down there just above the whirly jig thingamajiggy, and then we can just do exactly what we did before. We can clamp that to the ground and everything will be good. Right, so if we save this up and have a look at interplanetary launch pads, this is going to use about 56,000 material kits. 4,000 specialized parts. That's a lot. 5,000 liquid fuel, 475 oxidizer. That's not too bad. But yeah, that's a lot. That's about half the capacity of the totally reliable assembly platform at the moment, which is obviously a very, very, very large amount of material kits. But it's fine. We can do that. It is possible to build this in space. I think the only other thing that I need to do now is design the liquid fuel oxidizer section of this, and that'll be great. And then what we can do is we can launch all of them and connect them all together with a team of Kerbals, and I will have to design a ship that is capable of lifting the enriched uranium up into low Armstrong orbit as well. But I think I am going to end the live stream there because it's been about 3.5 hours. I've done a lot. If I wanted to start something else now, it would probably take way more than half an hour. And I need to go away and I need to edit the video that hopefully should be coming out tomorrow because I've done a little bit of it and I've not done much. And I've got uni work to do as well. And I might be playing Project Zomboid with some of my school friends tonight too, because that's a very good multiplayer game and I've been enjoying that thoroughly recently, and I might make a meme video on it at some point soon of our playthrough, which will be quite funny. But thank you everyone that's come along to the chat. It's been great. Thank you for joining this stream. It's been nice to see a few faces that I haven't seen in a while. And yeah, everything's gone good. We are pretty much at a position now where we can start exploiting Armstrong for all of its resources, which is going to be lovely. But with that, I'm going to be going. I'm going to go edit for a bit. Fun. The YouTube grind never bloody stops. Yeah. Anyway, I have been Karnasa. Thank you everyone for coming, and I will see you later.